and hit that white man with that stick. That was funny.
Who, us?
Nah, that was the New Orleans pull-up.
Oh.
Yeah. Pull him up.
That was self-defense. Don't say it like that.
You know, I'm from Detroit. You know, I gotta work on my words, my brother.
Yeah, we had to put the dog back on his leash.
Yep.
Yeah.
He stepped out of line. He got what he deserved. He stepped out of line.
He stepped out of line and dealt with the Lions then.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got rolled on.
Roll on.
Been playing victim after that.
He should have been bobbing when he should have been weaving.
Right. Hey, the only thing Esau can do is name himself Bob, goddamn it. He can't bob a damn thing. The only Bob he gonna be doing is his name. That's it.
Man, we lost a person. Okay, I'm gonna tell the story. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So I was born with rheumatoid, all the arthritis. I got all of them real bad. So for 3 weeks, it was in one knee. And then the 4th week, I got it in both knees and my foot. And I could not walk. So it kept getting worse and worse. So I had to call an ambulance. The ambulance had to get me out of my bed and take me to the car because they didn't want to take me to the doctor I wanted to go to. So I called a friend. My brother was busy. He was in Detroit, and I live in the suburbs. My sister's daughter had a back surgery, so she couldn't help me. So I called my friend, which was a female, to come get me because I don't have no car. I got money for the car, but I just say I want to get a good car because I want to go to Chicago and all the other New York, stuff like that when I get my next truck. So she parked outside. Ambulance came, got me, and I'm screaming like a girl because I can't move my legs. If you move it an inch, it hurts. So I ain't screaming like a girl. I'm screaming like a man.
Ah, Shemaya, beautiful pick.
I'm screaming like a man. I'm hollering. I'm crying. And I don't understand why I'm going through this. I've been kind of depressed a little bit because I'm going through this stuff. I think I'm by myself, and they get me downstairs, and the Esau, I'm in this chair, and they leaning it back. And the black man did good, but I guess, because I weigh 290, because I used to do bodybuilding shows, so I'm kind of thick. And I guess the black man got tired, so Esau said, I got him. I said, whatever you do, don't hit my foot, because it's in my foot too. Esau did that crap on purpose. He hit my foot, and he hit it hard. So when he hit it, I grabbed him by the throat. I was choking him. I started choking him and shaking him at the same time, like, ah! I ain't lying. If I could have got up, I would have whooped him up. And he let me do it. He let me choke him. So when the pain subsided where I could deal with it, they went on ahead and stood me up, and I got in a car. They took me to the hospital, gave me the shots, and I felt better. It's just that I still couldn't walk. So on the way home, this where it happened. We on the way home she on the way to my house. She give me the crutches. I get out the car. Now after this shot, it numbs the pain. So I don't feel it, but my body still feel it. So I live in an apartment complex. So I took like a couple of steps from the truck, and I realized I'm tired. I don't think I can make it 30 flights up the stairs to my apartment. So I was like, let me go ahead and try. It starts snowing. So it's like steps before you get to the steps. Like the sidewalk got steps to it before you get to the steps. So when I went to go up, I made it to the first step. When I went to the second step, it was some ice there. My crutches went to the side, and I fell. And when I fell, I hit my head. When I hit my head, a picture of this man came in my mind. And then when I woke, it was quick picture. And I opened my eyes. I tried to grab my leg, but when my leg bent, I screamed, ah! And then she was like, what you want me to do? What you want me to do? I was like, grab my leg, move it up, pull it out. So she pulled my leg out, and I turned to the side. When I turned to the side, no pain nowhere. I was just laying there, calm, cool, and collective. I was laying there, and she looked down at me and said, what we don't do? And I just looked up at her. I didn't say nothing. I don't know. Something came over me. I was calm, cool, and collective. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, why did they show me this man's picture when I fell? So next thing you know, a truck pull up. And I told her, I can't see the truck, but I could hear it. And I said, is that a man or a woman? She said, I can't see. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. She said, next thing you know, the man just appeared over me. And cause she a Hebrew too. She a Hebrew Israelite too. The man appeared over me. And I heard him say that. He looked at her and said, I only came for him. Just like that. I only came for him. So I'm laying on the concrete. I hear that. And when I looked up, I looked at that man. I was like, that's the same picture. That's the same picture. When I fell, I saw that. That's the same man. And I ain't never said no weird stuff. I do talk weird to my friends. I crack jokes and stuff. But I ain't never said nothing weird to no stranger. I said, where you been? Because I've been waiting on you. I don't know where that came from because I didn't know the man. I said, where you been? Because I've been waiting on you. He was like, don't worry about nothing. I got you. So he tried to pull me. He tried to pull me from the front. And I said, no. I said, ow, ow, ow. I was like, grab me from the back. So he picked me up and he said, put your arm around my shoulder and walk with you. This dude had on a hoodie. After I saw his face never appeared again. And we walked up 3 flights, never appeared again. So he helped me to the first flight. I got up the first flight and with his help, and I said, I'm done. I don't think I can make it. He said, listen, I got you. You gonna make it. And I was like, all right. He was like, rest on me. Put all your weight on me. Put all your weight on me much as you can. So I said, okay. So I put all my weight on this dude. We went up the second flight. This dude didn't breathe hard. This dude didn't breathe hard at all. When I said he didn't breathe hard, I don't even know if the dude was breathing. That's how close I'm up on him. Like my chest is next to his chest, and I got my arm around him. He got his arm around my back, and I'm trying to look at the nigga. I try to look at the dude's face, and I could not see the man's face. So he didn't look at me. He just kept his head. He kept his head down, and he didn't look at nobody. He ain't paid nobody no attention. He just kept his head down. So I'm like, I'm trying to look at the man's face. I'm hollering and screaming because I'm hurting. I'm trying to look at the man's face. He didn't look at nobody. So when I got up to second steps, I was like, I'm tired. I ain't gonna make it. He was like, we gonna make it. My brother showed up. He ran up the steps and grabbed me and said, "Hold on to me, come on, we gonna get up these stairs." So I'm holding on I'm holding on to what I think is an angel, and the other one I'm holding on to to my brother. So I put more weight on my man, and he helped me up the stairs, and I was like, I'm done. I can't go no more. I'm weak. I'm about to pass out. And my brother was like, call an ambulance, call an ambulance. The man said, we don't need no ambulance. Don't worry, I got him. I got him. Don't call no ambulance. I got him. We gonna make it. He was like, just take a break. Take a break. I got you. Not even looking at nobody. He didn't look at nobody. Nobody saw the man's face. My mama, my brother, and that girl, my friend said she saw his face at the beginning, but after that, she didn't see it no more. So I took a break. He helped me up the rest of the stairs, and he was like, don't call no ambulance. And I was like, thank you. He turned around, went down the steps, and disappeared at the end of the steps. And then the truck started pulling off. Now, the killing part of this, the man didn't have friends or live over there. Why? How he pull up out of the clear blue and help me and don't go in nobody's house? You know, don't live over there. And I was thinking it was the dude downstairs. But my brother went back outside because I passed out. So they called the ambulance. And my brother went outside to move his truck. And while he was moving the truck, he had the dude downstairs that me and my mom thought it was the dude downstairs. The dude downstairs was sitting in the car. He was like, you know, I know that's your brother. Told my brother this. I know that's your brother. I was gonna come out and help him, but you know, because I help him all the time. So my brother came upstairs and said, the dude downstairs said he helped y'all all the time. I said he do, and I was like, I thought that was the dude that was helping me, and I was like, wow. So when I got in the bed, I called my friend, and she was like, I said, when I fell, I saw a picture of a dude before I started screaming, and I said the dude just appeared above me, the same picture I saw in my head, and she was like, I never seen the man get out the car. The man just appeared in front of me and you, standing, you know, appeared over you, and just told me I only came to help him. And she said, that is weird. Why would a stranger say that? And I was like, I don't know. And she said, when she got ready to leave, the dude appeared on the side of her car and said,
Slocky, can you hear me?
go home, he's okay. Go home, he's okay. He in the bed. Hurry up and go home and do what you gotta do. Now, how he know what she gotta do? She was about to have a seizure. So how did he know that she was about to have a seizure? So, because she didn't take her seizure medicine because I wanted to go to the hospital so bad. So she went straight home and took her medicine.
Yeah, Salakia, Jeremiah, can you hear me? Shalom.
I can hear you.
So she said she came home and she thought about it and said, she said, Jeremiah, you must be doing something good. And I was like, why you say that? She said, I think the man was an angel because I never seen him walk that much. And he kept disappearing and reappearing. And then he said he only came here for you. And then when you hit your head, you saw the man's face. And then he stood over you. And I was like, Wow, because for the longest I've been sitting over here wanting to go out with y'all brothers and go preaching, because I did that at the beginning. Even though the off-rights was kicking my butt, I got in my crutches and I made it to the west side and went downtown with Zabak and all that messed up.
All right.
Barely can walk.
Check this out, Doc.
Okay.
Yes, Lockie, check this out. Let's get some scriptures real quick for this. Joshua, let me get Hebrews 13 and verse 2. Number 1.
Come on.
Hebrews. And you said that was a dream you had?
No, that happened Sunday.
That happened this Sunday? The past Sunday?
Yeah.
All right, let me get Hebrews 13 and verse 2.
It was no dream. It was real life. No dream.
We about to get into it, man. I done seen some stuff too, but we're going to talk about it. 13 and 2.
And he had a full beard.
Let's get into it. Bring it out. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2.
This Hebrews chapter 13, verse 2. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
Right. Some have entertained angels unaware. Right. Let's get Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 29. Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 29. And let's also get Psalms 91. These are just scriptures to show you, how the Most High will help you and guide you and send people to help you and to strengthen you. Right. Spiritually and also could be physically. Right. When you're aware of these things, these signs, it's a blessing. Everybody don't understand these things, but it's not for everybody to understand. So let's bring it out, Ak.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
Right. To them that have no might, he increaseth strength. He giveth power to the faint. Right. Whatever ailments any brothers and sisters have, remember, the Lord, H.O.I, controls all of this. Read on.
Verse 30. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall.
Right. So you can have a young man in his prime, strong, healthy, fast, able to jump high, like these all-star players, like these NBA players, these sports players. But all of a sudden, what happened? They drop dead. Right? Now, we're going to be a little politically correct, so we don't get our videos taken down. They drop dead because they took that poison. And another way of them taking that poison is the Lord taking away their strength. They took that poison, and now they had a heart attack. Even though they're young, they're healthy. High metabolism, run fast, 20 miles per hour type stuff. Able to bench lift, bench press, all of this, 300 pounds or 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds. So they're strong, they're mighty, but all of a sudden, they just drop dead on the field. They drop dead while playing sports. Right? That's the Most High doing that. Even the youth shall faint. Read on.
Verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
Those that wait upon the Lord, that's patience. Whatever ailments you're going through, the Lord is the one that put you through that. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, I believe some brothers and sisters is set, like preserved for the Most High to bring those miracles to heal them. That's just my opinion. That's what I believe. And I get some scriptures to back it up. I believe some brothers and sisters, the Lord got set up to bring those type of miracles to heal them, to increase the faith of everybody else around them. Right? Read on.
They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Right. They shall walk and not faint. They shall gain back their strength 100-fold. Right? The Lord is the one that gives strength, and the Lord is the one that takes away. Let me get Matthew chapter 15 and verse 30. Slakia, verse 29.
Slakia, you ain't want something from Psalms, you said?
We'll get Psalms as well, too. Matter of fact, pertaining to the angels, let me get Psalms 91. Let's get Psalms 91 real quick. We'll get Psalms 91, and let's get verse 11.
This Psalms chapter 91, verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways.
Right. So he shall give the angels charge over thee to watch over you and to keep you in all your ways. Read on.
Verse 12. They shall bear thee up in their hands.
They shall what?
They shall bear thee up in their hands.
Right. So as the brother is saying, he's walking up the stairs. He said the angel was holding him up. Say, listen, put all your weight on me. What is that? That's the angels bearing you up on their hands. Right? Step by step. Read on.
Lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Least thou do what?
Lest thou slack it. Lest thou dash thy foot against a stone.
And what was the issue with the brother? A foot problem. Khan?
Con.
So he's saying, least the angel's going to help bear you up, unless you jack your foot up against the stone. Right? The reason why they got to bear you up because you was injured. But now they help you lighten up the burden. Why? To carry you up the steps, little by little. So as you start to get used to, you start to put the pressure on your foot and everything step by step. So you can start to get going. Right? And then the rest, you'll be carried up. So when the angel's telling you, hey, don't call the ambulance. Why? Because man trusts in man. They trust in the inventions of man. Right? They believe man is the one that's going to heal them. But let's get Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39.
Hold the Matthews.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. Let's get
Okay.
that real quick, pertaining to healing.
Con. This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. And it reads, see now that I, even I, am he, and there's no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
See, so the Lord is the one that kills and make alive, and he's the one that wounds, that have you get injured, and he's the one that heals you, right? Let's get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 now. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16, and let's get verse 12. Let's get it real quick. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O
See,
Lord.
but thy what?
But thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things.
Right. So it wasn't even just the herbs, right? Or the medicine that healed you. Because if your body is dying and Lord put a plague on you and you already set to die on that day, no medicine is going to help you. Right? So he said it wasn't the medicine that really healed you, that aids you, it helps you. But it don't really kill you unless the Lord allows it. Khan?
Con.
All right. Now let's get another one. Hold on, King. Let's get Sirach chapter 38 and verse 1. This pertains to the herbs and the healing, the medicine. You're supposed to take the herbs. It's very important to help with the body physically. But the Lord already got your spirit jacked up spiritually. You know, your body can't heal from that. Right? And same as the mind, same as the body. Right? So let's get Sirach chapter 38 and verse 1.
Con. This Sirach chapter 38 verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord had created him.
Right. So it says honor your physician, your doctor. Right? And make sure you got a doctor that's on point. You know what's going on, you get your checkups, but also use wisdom. If they try to tell you to take a damn poison shot, which I'm gonna label it as, you know, so we don't take down our videos, try to get you to take a poison shot, you know damn well not to do it. Right? Read on.
This verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
You see, for of the Most High cometh healing, not of your doctor, but the Lord could put the Spirit on your doctor to help you in your situation. But it's the Most High that allows it for you to be healed or to be destroyed or to be sick, right? Now, from there, jump all the way, verse 4.
This is verse 4. The Lord had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them.
So the Lord created herbs, different type of medicines out of the earth. And it says, he that is wise will take heed to them. You'll use them, you'll apply them, like the blackberry, the black seed oil, the turmeric, stuff for your immune system, horseradish, all these different things help build up your immune system, right? But now, from there, jump to verse 15. But this is also for the wicked. Read on.
Verse 15. He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician.
You see? So he that sinneth before his maker, the same doctors that can help you, the same doctors Lord will put the Spirit on to destroy you. Right? They'll give you a shot, and then you'll end up with all different types of diseases. And now you're supposed to be a young athlete in your prime, and you just drop dead on the damn basketball field. The same doctors, right? But let's see what type of physicians that the Lord got for us in these days. Right? It's for you, Jeremiah. Let me get Matthew chapter 15 and verse 29. Yeah, miracles gonna be happening in these times, man. Right? Got to get that faith, get that, boost your faith, man. New levels, new devils. Miracles will be happening in these times. Right? They're talking about a resurrection of the church, the Christian spirits, and the gospel, and all of this stuff is happening. It's a worldwide wake up happening now. Resurrection going on all throughout the earth. Yeah, you're right, but it's not the one you think about. There's a Hebrew Israelites waking up. Now you damn Christians and you fake churches and you wicked, abominable leaders, man. So let's get it real quick, guys. Let's get Matthew chapter 15. This is what H.O.I in verse 29.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 29. And H.O.I departed from thence and came nigh unto the sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain and sat down there.
All right, keep reading out.
And great multitudes came to him. Salakia, and great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb.
Those that were what?
That were lame.
Right. Those that were lame, it means those that were injured, right? Paralyzed, right? Blind, they couldn't see. Dumb, right? Maimed, lost an arm, lost a leg, lost some fingers, and many others. Read on.
And cast them down at Yahweh's feet, and he healed them.
And he healed them. He cured them. Read on.
Verse 30. And great multitude, verse 31. And so much that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to behold, the lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they glorified the God of Israel.
Right. So they glorified Yahweh Shemel Shai because of the miracles that he did. Imagine the man that was blind for so many years, and then Yahweh Shai comes in and heals that man that you would have never thought about. Right? Let's get one last one. Let's get John chapter 5. Let me see. Where you at? Slakia, can you hear me?
John.
Yeah, let's get one more. Let's get John chapter 5. There's one more I was looking for. I think it was. And then there's scriptures about, like the brother was talking about the angel, he couldn't see their face. There's one in Luke chapter 9 where it talks about their faces like lightning. So you can't really picture their face. Right? Well, let's get John chapter 5 and let's go straight to verse. All right, this is a good one. Let's go to verse 4. Slocky, verse 3. Verse 3. Start at 3. John 5 and 3.
John
We're going to read it
chapter,
all the way down to verse 10. And then I'll
John
yield to the
chapter
brother
5.
Danyaahla.
Con. This is John chapter 5 and verse 3. And these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel
Right.
went.
Slocky. So this is a multitude, right? Same as the multitude in Matthew chapter 15, verse 29 on down. Speaking about the multitude, many of these people, thousands, probably even close to millions of the people, impotent folk of blind. They were blind, halted, withered, right? That also pertains to lame, right? Injured. Read on.
Verse 4. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool, and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had.
So that's speaking about the physical. But the key thing in this verse, it said an angel came down at a specific season, right? So why in 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2 on down, it speaks about preach the word in season, out of season. Because you never know, whatever prayer you ask the Lord for, that he's going to answer that prayer. You never know when it's going to happen. But you got to be ready. You ask the Most High to heal you. Hey, you think it's going to take next week or next month. The Most High might try you for 2 years straight before he heal you for that specific injury. And you got to keep pushing. You got to keep being consistent. You got to keep the faith. You got to stay diligent. You can't lose hope. You can't lose faith. And when the time comes, you're going to appreciate it even more. Because he might send that angel, like the brother Jeremiah was talking about, in a due season. He never expected it. And it showed up. And it said the water, wherever the angel touched the water, and the water was clear. Right? It was like the living waters. And whoever stepped their foot on the water, they was healed now. Right? It was like the fountain of youth. Right? But that also ties in spiritually, which is the scriptures. The scriptures are also the living waters. You got to be healed spiritually first before you're healed physically after. Khan?
Con.
Read on.
Verse 5. A certain and a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
Wait, hold on. This man he had this injury, or he was paralyzed for how long? Or he was blind for how long?
For 38 years.
So this man was dealing with this for 38 years. He was probably born with it. Right? Jeremiah, you only been injured for how long? Probably 2 years, 3 years, right?
5. About 5.
Come on. That's why we had John chapter 5. Right? This man was only dealing with this for 38 years. You only dealt with this for 5 years. Everything is a test. Read on.
This is verse 6. When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Will thou be made whole?
Right. So he's telling him, hey, you ready to be perfect? I know you've been suffering, but that man had to wait for Yahushua. No one else was able to heal him. Why? Because this is all part of miracles and prophecies. Right? He was probably predestined to be healed by Yahushua at that moment. So what? So it can bring forth more people that have that faith to increase the camp, increase the churches by seeing that miracle happen. So for 38 years, everybody's looking at this man and saying he's a blind man. Ain't no way he's going to be better. Right? He's a man that's paralyzed for 38 years. But not knowing he was preserved by the Lord so that he can be used as a miracle and as a testimony. Read on.
Come, this is verse 7. The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool.
Right. He has no man to help him. He has no man to help carry him. Like, hey, put your arms on my shoulders so I can help you walk up them steps. Right? Hey, brother, you want to show up to camp? You got a wheelchair, whatever? All right, get on the wheelchair. Let's go, man. Put you in the car and I'll drive you to the camp, man. You want to get to the feast days? Right? You need crutches? All right, get you some crutches. Hey, I'm going to park my car right in front of your house. You know, I'll pick you up and let's get to the feast day. Let's get there. right? You had a brother named Ephraimite McGunn that used to be part of H.O.I. in New York. The brother got hit. He got hit, but he got caught in a car accident, and his leg was all jacked up, right? So the brother said, "I ain't missing no camp, man." Right? He was consistent. So the brother got a wheelchair, drove that bad boy to camp. He showed up by any means necessary, man. He came to camp on a wheelchair, you know? And some brothers like, man, yo, you going off this and that, man. Yo, stay home. Like, look, man, look, the Lord is dealing with everybody's different, with everybody different. All right. I'm trying to show the Lord, man, I'm willing to die for this. If I got to put my ass on a wheelchair to get there, I'm going to make it by any means necessary. Because he still had that faith in Yahweh Shemel was shot. Right? And now the brother's all good today. He's walking around. He's all good now. He don't need the wheelchair no more. You know, he got a little limp in here and there, but he's still consistent now. So the Lord healed him in his situation. Right? But this man right here, he said, I got nobody to help me get me into the pool, into the water. Right? But like the brother said in his dream, the angel told him, don't worry about it. I got you. Put your arm around my shoulder and I hope you walk up the steps. I got you. Don't give up. You get to the first flight, all right, I'm gonna help you right here. The second flight, get used to it. Get used to you doing it by yourself. The third flight, you're gonna be up and running. All right, we got to start somewhere. Read on.
But while I am coming, another step down before me.
Right. So these are other brothers that's only thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about the next man. It could be a brother, or it could be a sister. They're selfish. They only think about themselves. Right? You got people that's sick. They need prayer. You know, they need words of exhortation. You know, inspiration. You know, need all different type of things. Don't forget about them. Especially if they're trying, if they're striving. Do not forget about them. Because if you was in that situation, you'll want people to help you out as well too. You know, and that's the one thing with the nation of Israel. We got to learn to be considerate amongst each other. Khan? Read on.
Khan. This is verse 8. Yahweh said unto him, rise, take up thy bed and walk.
So Yahweh said, raise up, right? Like he said with Israel, Kwam Yasharallah, arise, O Israel. Read on.
Verse 9. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked.
Right, immediately. That's the miracles, man. That's Yahweh healing the man that was paralyzed. And he said immediately he got up and was able to walk. This is a man that wasn't able to walk for 38 years. And the Lord healed that man on the site. Right on site. Right? So this is a blessing. And I believe, man, this is going to happen in these last days, man. Yahweh said it, greater works I have done, you shall do greater. So let's have that faith of a mustard seed. Go ahead. Somebody said Slagi?
Yeah, when this happened Sunday. So when I fell, can you explain the part where I fell and I saw a picture of the man and then I looked up, he was standing over me, the same picture of the man, exactly alike.
Right. What happened to Paul when he fell off of the horse in Damascus? Right? Let's get that real quick. Let's get that. I'll get that as one more.
Have you, I don't mean to interrupt, but have you ever seen a movie where somebody fall and then they take them back in time or they start dreaming and then they wake up? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he had to knock some sense into you, all right? He had to knock some sense into your mind, man. Right? Let me see. Let's get one more. Let's get Acts chapter 9. Let's see.
Come.
Let's see. Danyaahla, you still there?
Y'all brothers have to school?
All right,
Con, I'm here.
All right, let's get Acts chapter 9. And let's get Yeah, Joshua, let me get Acts chapter 9 and let's get verse 3.
Con, this is Acts chapter 9 and verse 3. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven.
All right, read on.
And he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me?
Right. So this is Paul, right? At the time he was called Saul. He was on his road. He was on the road to Damascus to basically persecute the disciples. And he fell off the horse. He fell on the ground, basically hit his head. Right. And then when he hit his head, look up and heard a voice. And it says, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? That's H.O.I speaking. Read on.
You said read on?
Yeah, Khan.
Con, verse 4, Slacky, verse 5. And he said, Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahushua, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
All right, read on.
Verse 6, and he trembling and astonished said, Lord, what wilt thou have me to do? And the Lord said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do.
Right. So he's guiding him. He's directing him. He had to knock Paul off his high horse. Right. He was getting proud as hell. Now jump to verse 8.
This is verse 8. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man, but they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus.
And what happened to Paul? Read on.
Verse 9, and he was there, and he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink.
Right. Neither did eat nor drink for 3 days. Right. Without sight. And what happened? The Lord was showing him different things. Right. He had to give him that hard reset. He had to humble him down. He became blind. He was suffering. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. And the Lord had to break him down because of that pride and because he was persecuting the disciples. So the Lord had to give him that hard reset. And Paul was basically being spiritually reborn again and having the understanding of Yahushua. So he was hurt from that injury, and then he became healed after that 3-day process. Right? And that's symbolic you can use for the brother Jeremiah with his situation. All right? So there's going to be some miracles happening, man. And like in Revelation chapter 1, you know, John the Revelator said it, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. Right? He's seen the vision of Yahushua. And then in Daniel's chapter 10, with Daniel even seeing the vision of Yahushua. You know, face like lightning, raiment, color of skin, burnished brass, you know, armor, gold armor on his arm and his feet. So brothers and sisters going to see these things in these times, you know, and don't be scared. It's part of biblical prophecy, man, especially with America collapsing, the dollar's collapsing, these zombie drugs happening. It's part of biblical prophecy, man. So we're living in a hell of a time right now. Beautiful time. Shem Mashiach Yahushua.
Beautiful breakdown. Awesome.
Hey, all praise Yahweh Shem Yahushua. With that, I yield to Danyaahla, the young lion. All right, let's get it.
Come
Come.
You at the class? At the school tonight?
Yeah, I'm at the school, but he's gonna be teaching. He's gonna be teaching at his safe abode.
Come, all praises.
Good. Go ahead, Ak.
Hey, Shalom, family. Shalom, Akim and Akwatium. Shalom, man. Glad to be able to do another class, man, and edify the people, Lord willing, man. Right? Today is going to be the lesson today is going to be how to control your anger, right? Because we're in a time where we got to examine ourselves, right, before the Passover come up, right? Because brothers and sisters don't want to be eating that lamb, drinking that wine, eating the bitter herb, and they going to hell off, right? Let me get this real quick.
And Shamaya, can you give me the host? Or me and Danyaahla the host real quick as well?
You want the Power King?
Yeah, I just need some of that green beans. That sensu bean.
All right, man.
Good.
Con.
Go ahead, Ak.
Con. And dealing with this anger, man, right? Because we all, even out of the truth and being in the truth, brothers still have anger, right? We use that Ecclesiastes 7:7, right? Right, let's pull that actually. Let's pull that. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. I got the brother Gabar reading for me. He right next to me. Y'all can see me.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Right. That's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
Right, so surely oppression gonna make a wise man mad, right? So we use this scripture oftentimes, man, right? Proving that we're angry, right? We're mad because we're in this oppression, which is completely fine, right? There's many scriptures of us being angry, right? Because we're in captivity, right? But being angry towards a brother or a sister, right? Being angry in the type of situation you're in at the moment, right? You're not supposed to be like that, right? Aren't we supposed to be joyful in our trials and tribulation, right? Aren't we supposed to love our brother and our sister, right? That's all, and while keeping the commandments, right? Come on, bring it, your piece up.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and I'm going to read verse 33 and 34. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed alway, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see, right? So to be mad over oppression is actually a part of the curses, right? Our whole time in this captivity, we're supposed to be striving to break the curses. So even us being angry at the oppression, right? We're supposed to follow the law, statutes, and commandments to get out of the oppression. That way we can be happy and blessed above all people. But being angry at oppression is even one of those curses that we're supposed to try to break. Are you?
All right, let's get Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 17. Right? Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 17, right? Because oftentimes, right, just watching videos, right, different camps here and there, bringing the Almighty through the Spirit. Oftentimes, brothers and sisters, they become angry when they're talking to their people, right? They become frustrated, right? And we need to be able to control our spirit, right? So we can't be angry at our people because they have no knowledge, right? We have to remember at a point in time we ain't have that knowledge as well, right? A brother kind of didn't get on us like he was angry, right? He had patience with us, long suffering, right? He kind of broke it down through the scriptures, right? He didn't just cuss out the brother, man, right? Trying to kind of try to tell that brother, oh, I'm not dealing with you. No, right? So we have to continue to be in the spirit, right? Let's get that. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17.
That's the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly.
Right. So he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, right? Being soon angry is being quick-tempered, right? Being quick-tempered, having a quick temper, right? So you don't know necessarily how to hold your temper, right? You'll kind of blurt out certain things, right? The brother not understanding the scriptures, you kind of getting frustrated, right? A sister not trying to be adhered to the scriptures, you kind of getting frustrated, right? You kind of tell her, I'm gonna call you back, right? You tell the brother, I can't deal with you tonight. That's going off, right? So if you become quick-tempered, You're dealing foolishly. And we in these last days don't want to be fools, man. Right? Especially coming up on a Passover. Right? You kind of walk in the door, you how about Shimon Shabbat, brother. But back at the crib, man, you angry at the brother, man. Yeah. Even with the sisters, man, y'all how about Shimon Shashmak thumb, kind of give her a hug. But back at home, you talking to your husband all types of hell about the sister. Right? That's going off. Right? That's not having control over your own spirit. Right? That's not that in a way, hey, that's having hatred towards your own people. Right? You might be holding a grudge towards your brother or your sister. Right? That's going the hell off. Right? We're trying to break that Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Right? And the only way of breaking that Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54, right? We have to stop being so damn angry, man. Right? We have to be that. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 54. Right? We got to be that patient, long suffering with our people, the ones that's in this truth and out of this truth. When you out there teaching, when a brother's out there teaching they people, well, we got to be patient and long suffering. Right? Even with the sisters teaching another sister and the children, y'all got to be patient and long suffering because everybody not going to learn on the same pace. Right? Everybody not going to learn the same scripture at the same time. They can't digest it the same, man. All right, so bring that up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
And that's what we're trying to get back to. Being very delicate, man. Right? Read on.
His eye shall be evil towards his brother.
Even being in this truth and in the world, you can see both sides, man. Brothers and sisters still have an evil eye towards each other. Right? So we need to be able to examine ourselves before this Passover now. Passover is coming. Hey, this month is going by quick now. Right? April gonna be right around the corner. Right? The next day gonna be Passover. You want all that leaven out of you now. You want your spirit to be right. You want to walk into that room, walk into into the space that we'll have, right? Loving each and every brother in there in sincerity and in truth. Right, Rita?
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right? Our brothers can't have hatred or anger, right, towards their wives, man. Right? We understand the woman is the weaker vessel. So that proves that we need to even have much more long suffering and patience with them. Right, Rita?
And toward the remnant of his children.
And towards the child, man. That's a babe. He ain't gonna understand things like you understand. Right? Lord willing, hey, he growing up in a mighty age, hey, he'll be able to understand it then. But that's all in due time. Right? Just like our people out there on the streets. You might be talking to a grown man and he can't understand the scriptures right now. But for sure, he gonna get on that YouTube and that Facebook, try to learn. Right? Brother might get the phone call to Thursday night class. He gonna tap in. He gonna try to text you, man, try to have you break down the scripture again to him. Right? That's all a part of being long-suffering, controlling your anger. Right? Because your anger sometimes could cast people off. Right? Your anger could cause people not to be in this truth. You'll scar somebody from being in this truth. Right? Read on.
Which he shall leave.
And hey, isn't that what most of our people do? They leave the camp. They just leave. Not saying a word, just leave. Because brothers didn't know how to control their anger. Right? A sister might just, hey, this camp stuff not for me, man. Right? Being outside or being on these calls is not for me. Right? Or being on this call with a sister is not for me. Because the sister didn't know how to control her anger. She didn't know how to be patient. Brother didn't know how to be patient. So these scriptures that I'm going to bring out is going to show you how to control that anger. Ultimately, how to have that more patience that we need. Because we do not want to walk into Passover angry, man. No matter what happens, right, from the 31st to like April 4th, right? None between that time or beyond should get you angry, right? Because first, the Most High brought you into this truth. Second, you're not dead, so you ain't dying your sin. You got a second chance. So if the Most High, right, he not angry, right? Well, he is angry, right? But for him to have mercy on you shows that hey, he's patient with you and he's not that angry at you, right? So we have to be in that same like manner. The same way with H.O.I, man. You know, H.O.I just could have, hey man, he could have just took care of everybody. Even when he beat the disciples with that scourge, man. It took him a while to get to that point. Right? He had that same long suffering, that patience. The same thing we need to do, right? Because these scriptures was written for our learning, right? Let me get that in Romans, right? Chapter 15 and verse 4. Right? Romans chapter 15 and verse 4.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right. So everything that was written of Yahweh, which was aforetime, before our time, it was written for our learning. Right? Everything before that time when Yahweh beat them with that scourge, he was long suffering, he was patient, he was healing people, he was making miracles, man. Right? The same like manner, man. Before you get to that point where you angry, right? Where you're very angry, you gotta kind of control yourself, control your spirit, right? Let's get the next scripture. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 9.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 9.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 9. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry.
Be not what?
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry.
So don't be quick in your spirit to be angry. The first thing when you see a brother or you teaching a brother, right? Or for the sisters, when you teaching a sister or seeing a sister, don't be quick to be angry. Because we know how people could get now. We know how people could get, right? Surely oppression makes a wise man mad, right? We always angry. But when it comes to your brother and your sister, right, it has to be something different. We could be angry at these other nations, right? We could be angry for a point of time, but we can't be angry forever, right? Read on.
For anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
For anger rests in the bosom of fools. Anger just gonna kind of sit there, man, right? The spirit of anger is just gonna sit there. It's just gonna push your buttons, man, right? No matter where you go. You might be gathered with the brothers. You see this one brother just going off, right? Instead of correcting him, you just angry, man. You blurting out certain things, right? You kind of smack them up. A whole damn brawl, man. Right? That anger is gonna rest in you, right? But there's certain ways on how to get that anger off you. And we're gonna get into that in this lesson, right? Let me get Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 7.
This is Sirach chapter 28 and verse 7. Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor.
Right. So you can't bear any malice towards your neighbor. You got to remember those commandments. You can't be angry. You can't have wrath towards your neighbor, towards your brethren, to your people, to your nation, no matter who they are. Right, read on.
Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance.
You got to wink at their ignorance. Wink at them because you know that they don't have the understanding you have. The same way the Most High God winked at us to bring us into this truth. Because we're all, we all deserve that punishment, man. We all deserve to be put to death by the Most High. But he winked at our ignorance. Right? And we have to do the same thing towards our people. Right, read on.
Abstain from strife.
You have to abstain from strife. Kind of get away from being contentious, right? Causing conflict, troubles, right? Disagreements, right? Kind of get away from that thing. Read on.
And thou shalt diminish thy sins.
And you will kind of get rid of your sins, because when you're in anger, you don't really think, right? You just say what's on your mind, right? And some of those things that's on your mind will cause you to be in sin, right? Read on.
For a furious man will kindle strife.
For a furious man will kindle strife. He's always going to be on 100. He's always going to be angry. He's going to be a furious man that kindles strife. And we can't be like that, right? We can't continue in just trying to disagree, man, right? We got to come on common grounds, right? That's even with us, right? H.O.I. Chicago. If we have any disagreements, we talk about it, right? And we come to a neutral agreement, right? We don't just hold that disagreement just there and win. No, we talk about it, right? And we move on, right? We continue to move forward, right? Brothers can stay angry all damn day, but we not gonna stay angry, man, right? Because we understand we have to love our brethren, right? We can't be a furious man that kindles strife. Because then we around each other down there every day now. Feel like we live in a house together. So there's no way we could be angry each and every day. Now you could be angry for a time, right? But you can't be angry all day. All right, let's get the next scripture. Let's get Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 18. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 18.
That's Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 18. A wrathful man stirreth up strife.
What?
A wrathful man stirreth up strife.
A wrathful man stirreth up strife. So a wrathful man is a furious man, right? And he stirs up strife. He kind of make disagreements. He bring up conversations just to disagree, right? He bring up certain things just to cause a conflict, right? That's what a lot of our people do on the streets, man. A lot of our people hear about the Israelites, what they teach, right? But yet they try to bring up something that will cause a conflict. But we have to be the ones to stay in the spirit. That goes for the brothers and sisters, because they have no understanding of that right now, right? They have no understanding of what the spirit is, man. But we do. So using that knowledge, we have to stay in the spirit. Continue to keep the commandments, even when a brother's trying to kind of tempt you to go off. Right, read on.
But he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife.
And that's what we got to be. We got to be slow to anger, patient, long-suffering. We have to be slow to anger to appease strife, right? To kind of reduce it, remove it. You got to kind of be that peacemaker, right? Because what does the scripture say about a peacemaker, right? What does anybody know?
Slakia.
Come on, bring it out.
Blessed is the wait. Does it say peacemaker shall inherit the kingdom, or is that the meek? Or blessed is the peacemaker? Something in those terms.
Come on, right?
Might be Matthew chapter 5.
Come on, let's bring that up. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9. Come on, not.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Hey, see that? Wouldn't that kind of push you to be a peacemaker even more? Blessed are the peacemakers, if they shall be called the children of God. Nah. So to be slow to anger and appeasing strife, You become that peacemaker. You try to keep the peace, right? Because anybody can get angry, man. Right? Anybody can get angry, but can everybody be a peacemaker? That's something to think about. Can everybody be a peacemaker? And the answer is no. Everybody can't be a peacemaker, right? Everybody cannot be a peacemaker, right? But we should strive, each and every person that is in this truth should strive to be a peacemaker instead of being that furious man. This goes for the sisters as well, right? Because the sisters could be the same way, even towards their husband, man, right? Husband kind of gets you mad, man, right? And you just start throwing plates. You kind of try to smack them up. That's going the hell off, man. Right? You got to kind of hold your tongue, right? Humble yourself down. Hey, and the best way to do it is just open up the scriptures and read, man. Then Arya, right, Cap, just bring out that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12. The word healeth all things. Right, so if you angry, right, if you become furious, just start, hey, open up the scriptures and read. Better yet, pray, right? Turn on the fast real quick to get that anger up off you, right? Because other people will say, count to 10, right? Think of your happy place. No. If you want to be real, get into the scriptures. That's the best way. Because I know a lot of people that could count to 10 while being mad, right? And they then start counting to 100 now. And they still angry after counting. So it don't really work. Right? You trying to go to your happy place, right? And you know how people be going off, right? They happy place probably a dream of them smoking weed, man. Right? Seeing a wicked woman, right? They happy place is the trap house, man. What is our happy place? Right? While being in captivity, man. Right? So the best thing to get rid of your anger is to just open up these scriptures, right? There's 3 ways. I'll give you 3 ways, right? Open up the scriptures. That's 1. Call a brother. That's 2. And even I'm trying to get better with that. I'm trying to get better to be able to call brothers, because most brothers, most sisters as well, they need that conversation. They might be going through some same thing you going through. They need that conversation of comfort. And you might call a brother or call a sister, y'all down there, open up camp right then and there, bringing up the scriptures, right? Bringing out precepts, trading precepts, all that, right? So you got to call a brother, right? Open up the scriptures, man, right? That's the best way, right? Let's get James chapter 1 and verse 19.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak, slow to wrath.
Slow to what?
Slow to wrath.
Hey, man, there's many accounts in the scriptures on being slow to wrath, right? We're not even, to be real, we're not even supposed to have wrath, man, right? We're not supposed to have wrath, right? Furious man wasn't made for us, man. The Most High is the only one that's supposed to have that wrath, man, right? Being furious, right? And we're going to get that, we're going to get in that as well, right? So be slow to wrath. Don't be so quick to be angry at your own people, right? have some patience, right? Wink at their ignorance, right? Don't match their evil with evil, man. Somebody got to come out righteous. Somebody got to be righteous and somebody got to be wicked. That's just how the Most High set it up. But who's going to be that righteous one? Are you going to match your brother or sister with their wickedness? Or are you going to be the righteous one to kind of, hey, bring out the scriptures to them, right? You gotta choose which one you want to be, man. Right? This is a part of examining yourself, right? Because I don't want to see none of that Passover, man. I want to see nothing but smiles, right? Having a good time, right? Don't want to hear about no drama, right? None of that, man. Right? We leaving this place as a nation, not individual lights, man. As a nation. So doing that, we have to be on one accord. Brothers and sisters actually have to talk to each other, right? Even if it's good or bad, right? So that you could be able to pour out what kind of faults you have towards your brother or sister, right? Kind of get into it, right? Talk to them. That's the best way, right? Read on.
Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God.
You see that? That's kind of heavy, right? That should instantly want you to just change in an instant. For the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God. So it's just gonna work up nothing but unrighteousness, wickedness, right? If a brother is angry, man, he gonna kind of think of wicked things, right? And even if you, without saying that you hate your brother, even if in your mind, if you hate your brother, right? You became a murderer already, according to Yahushua, right? So we don't want to be that type of person where they're wrathful, right? Because you're not going to work righteousness according to the scriptures. If you stay in a wrathful type of mind, stay as a wrathful man, you're not going to work righteousness. It don't matter how much you say, oh, I keep the commandments, right? I keep the high and holy days, right? I don't eat the shrimp, crab, lobster, pork no more, right? If you become a wrathful man, hey, you're not keeping the commandments, right? Because you're not working the righteousness of God. And we all know what righteousness is. It's keeping the commandments, right? So you're not going to work the righteousness being a wrathful person. So things got to change. You got to examine yourself. You got to look into yourself. You kind of got to fast, right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 23.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 23. Divers wait are an abomination unto the Lord.
Salakia. Read that again.
You said
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 23.
Salakia. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from trouble.
You see that? He whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue, right? You kind of keep your mouth shut, right? You keep your thoughts in your head, right? You keep your soul from troubles, right? So you're not causing the Most High to kind of whoop on you, right? You're not causing the Most High to kind of put you through tribulation, right? Trials, right? You're not causing the Most High to do those things to you. You keep your soul from troubles when you keep your mouth, right? When you keep it closed. A brother might say, y'all not no Israelites. Y'all niggas from the projects, man. Y'all false prophets, right? No, we can't blurt out in nothing but in nothing anger, right? We got to be like, yeah, brother, repent. All right, we'll talk to you soon, right? Wink at his ignorance because he don't know what he's talking about. He can't see who his teachers are, right? He can't see who the prophets are, right? Let's get a quick one, right? Let's hold that. Let me get Psalm chapter, I believe it's verse 81. Let me see what I want.
And Salaki, I got a quick video. I just want to show real quick, just to touch base on, controlling your anger. Just show this real quick. Just show this real quick.
God.
Turn the key on the bus. That's the truth. You and your bitch. I bring my daughter up here and whoop your. I bring my granddaughter up here. Okay, well bring them, nigga. Bring your mammy up here, bitch.
So, can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah, come on.
So what's happening? This is an old incident, but this is a good learning lesson, right? And shout out to Memphis, Tennessee, man. So what happened was, this is a young Eve, very disrespectful, no manners, don't respect their elders, right? Don't know how to speak to people, and thinking that her moving all ratchet is going to help her in all different situations. So she spoke to the wrong person, like the brother brought out in Proverbs, keep your tongue, man. You might keep your life. And she tried the wrong person. And let's just say we about to be initiating to the greatest hits. Watch this, man.
Turn the key on the bus. That's the truth. You and your bitch. I bring my daughter up here and whoop your. I bring my granddaughter up here. Okay, well bring them, nigga. Bring your mammy up here, bitch, and I'll beat her ass too. Oh shit.
So this is a little girl calling a grown man, an elder man at that, bitch, cursing him out and everything. No respect.
Nigga, our dog got home too, nigga.
Look like somebody that slice your face up.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Your face up. Did somebody...
Now she got angry, right? She couldn't take the insults, but she could dish it out. And she got angry, should have kept her mouth shut. And then she put her hands on him. Mind you, he's a bus driver. And look what happens.
She spit on him, dog.
Yeah, she spit on him.
You going to jail? You going to jail?
So she uppercut it. He grabbed and flung the hell up out of here. You should have kept your mouth shut, man.
Was that the Ayukin?
That was the Ayukin, the left Yukin, the R Yukin. You should have controlled your anger. You should have got Kasaya's book, man. The Art of Anger. Right? And know who you're talking to. And what happens? He was just trying to do his job, knocked the muffin top off her chin, a little disrespectful behind, and got her the hell up out of there. She got a free ride off the bus.
I don't care. She want to be a man, I'm going to treat you like a man.
Bam. Yeah, you wanna don't let that Steve Harvey stuff fool you, man. Act like a man and think like a man. You want to be a man, he's gonna treat you like a man. And that's what's happening in Babylon. A lot of confusion because Esau is teaching our people, brothers and sisters, we all equal, and a sister could put her hands on a man and all this and that. and be out of order, and that's what happens. All right.
I mean, you got me fucked up. Chill out, baby. Chill out. Hey, girl, you got me fucked up.
And that's what her starting the issue. Let's get one more.
Is she fucking kidding me? She's getting arrested. That's a federal crime.
I remember this one.
Look at this.
Is she fucking kidding me?
Road rage.
Fucking kidding me? Got her plate?
And look, you look.
Oh,
Yo.
Oh, take that. Get that shit. She's going to fucking jail.
What the fuck?
Yo. Oh, no, y'all gotta help me.
Yo, leave him. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. What the hell? Yo, what are you doing, bro?
Oh, she alright. She alright. You
That's our man, man. That's our man, man. That's a, you guys doing?
Hello, 911.
Just wait till. Hold on, just
Yo.
wait. Hold on, just wait, baby. Hold on.
Yo. Yo.
The police are right there. Watch out. They're right behind you.
Yo.
Calm down, baby girl. Hey, just move out the car. Just move from out the car so you don't get hurt.
Yo.
Watch out, watch out. You watch out, y'all move.
Watch out, man.
Yo. Yo.
Yo, what the fuck? The fuck?
Oh my.
Why would you jump
You
into
right,
the
man?
car like that? Open this big door, bitch. Open this big door, bitch. Open this. Oh, open this big door. Open this big door, bitch. Open this big door. Hey, what about my little boy? Huh? You wanna be a slave, bitch? Oh, okay. What's up? Bring on your punishment. What's up, bitch? What's up? What about puppy? Oh, bring it, bitch. Bring it, bitch. Bring it, bitch. Bring it. What about puppy? Huh? Bring it, bitch. What's up? What's up? Bring it, bitch. Bring it.
Just get on the ground. Shit.
Stop! Stop!
New York. This is New York. Everybody. This is New York. This is New York. Everybody late. Everybody.
Because you're nosy, that's why you are late.
Everybody late. It's New York.
Bitch, that's why you are late.
You want to be on time, go to Jamaica and walk to work.
And if I was there, I would have get there.
You're going to be late. That's it. You're going to be late.
I don't give a shit where I won't come from or where I
You be mad at him because you're late?
Not from Jamaica either, so you're talking from.
Or wherever you from, you might be on time if you walk there.
I was talking to the driver.
But you're annoying me, so now I'm going to speak on it.
I'm not in your fucking house.
You're fucking annoying
Oh, I
me.
get you now. You live in the house?
You need a
And who
fucking
you live
car.
with and I fucking you.
You know what it is? You upset because you got a bullshit ass job. And you late to your bullshit ass job.
You can't buy a car because you got a bullshit ass job. Don't be mad. Don't fuck everybody else day up. Poor lady got a wheelchair. She got on the bus with a wheelchair. That's why the bus is late.
It takes 15 minutes to get up.
You gonna be mad at that? Come on, get out of here. Ask your boss for a raise. You can buy a car and you won't have to take the fucking bus. I'm gonna probably get fired. I'm mad late. I don't even care. I'll get another job. I'm not gonna get mad at the bus driver. It's my fault. I should have been on the 12:10 instead of the 12:13 bus. That's my fault. That ain't his fault. Wake your ass up early. Put the fucking dumplings down. I mean, and get on the bus. Fucking slave beat. What's she talking about?
How am I waiting on Brad to get judged and I didn't order none? That's what I'm talking about. So you try to talk to me like I was stupid. Bitch, I know what I ordered. How about that? Want to read it? Dumb ass. Read the screen. They tell you to read the screen. There ain't no fucking fries up there with no goddamn 20-piece fucking nuts. I'm innocent. Now innocent. Since you tried to talk to me like I was dumb, answer me that with your dumb ass. Don't be quiet now, because I got a stick in my purse. I can stick in your ass, bitch. Hand, do you want it? Because I'll give it to you. Just like that, motherfucker. Watch the fuck you think you talking to in this bitch. I'm not one of these simple-minded ass bitches that thought you was cute, bitch. Give me my money. I paid with a fucking card. Now hurry up so I can swipe my shit and get up out this ghetto, motherfucker. How about that? Motherfuckers. No, it say, your time. Do you like your fucking face, bitch? Do you like your face? Say 656. I was charged extra 46, bitch, for motherfucking food. Read it. That's on the receipt, young man. You raise it up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want her to do her job. She was telling me how she liked her job and how good she did her job. I want this bitch to do it right. Give me my money back on her account. Excuse me, sir. Back up off me because I'm trying to do something. Back up, bitch. Back up. Give me my change, bitch. Give me my motherfucking change. Not clear to it. You want?
And that's just 10 seconds of that disturbing video that was recorded and shared on social media Monday night. It shows a 15-year-old girl being attacked on the city's south side. You can see that large group of teen girls surround her as they punched her several times. The girl screaming out for help, as you heard, before she falls to the ground after she was injured. That now viral video is under investigation by Chicago.
Tyler hurling a cookie rack at the clerk and repeatedly trying to climb over the counter, but her fiance kept pulling her back. The clerk said they were going to call police, and then as Tyler and her fiance start to leave, police say Tyler then threw the wet floor sign back towards the counter, and then even came back and tossed food in the clerk's face. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but Tyler is now facing several charges, including assault and battery.
I've seen a lot, and but over tomatoes on a sandwich? No, I haven't. This is the first of one of these episodes that we've dealt with. We want people to know that, this isn't acceptable behavior. Whether it's in a restaurant, whether it's road rages, I think we've seen over the last couple of years that incidents like this can spill into so much more.
Yeah, Con. Just wanted to show that. Lord of mercy. Jeez.
Don't forget the tomatoes on my sandwich.
Con, the water.
Yeah, man. Control your anger.
All she wanted was her 40 cents.
Man. Oh, your anger, man.
There's so many things that could trigger our people to anger, man. And it's just, our people don't know how to control it, man. Only if they would get into the scriptures and find out, because the scriptures got answers to every single question, man. In every single situation. It got a solution to it, man. And just watching that, man, you see how one person was going at the other, like just using the bus driver video, right? He kind of uppercut the sister, man. All right, and that's matching evil with evil, man. All right, You kind of could have placed her off the bus, man. Right? Sister could have just sat down, stopped talking, man. Right? Enjoy the ride. Right? But instead, she wants to spit on him. And right, with him being furious, right? He kind of uppercutted the sister, man. Let's be real, they both in the wrong, man. They both in the wrong. Right? Because this, for one, it's a little teenager, man. You know they already got a mouth on them. They ain't got no understanding. Don't know nothing. Right? So that brother, right, that kind of uppercutter, he was going off too. He kind of could have stopped the bus and got her up off the bus, man. Right? Let's read that again. Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 23.
It's Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 23. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles.
All right. So whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. Right? That sister in that video, man, she should have just kept her mouth and her tongue. And that would have stopped everything. You right. She would have kept her chin. But see that? She ain't had no understanding. Right? Right, read on.
Proud and haughty scorner is his name.
Man, that's her name, man. Proud and haughty scorner, man. She just scoffing. She just talking it up. Not knowing she's so angry, not even knowing what she's truly saying or what she really doing. Right? The same things that she was saying or the same things that she was doing, she wouldn't want a person to do that to her. Say if she was of age, she was driving a bus and a man came on the bus, giving her hell and kind of spit on her, man. She probably would have fighted that man. Right? Because they did not want to keep their mouth, man. And that's what caused their soul to be troubled. So for us as Israelites being in this truth, for us to keep our souls from trouble, sometimes we just got to stop talking. Sometimes you just got to sit back and observe and watch. Right? Know when to say something at its appointed time. You might say something at the wrong time. And we talk about that all the time. A scoffer or a foolish man says something at the wrong time, man. We have to know when to say things at the right time. When to just shut our mouth. Right? Put everything in the Most High hands, man. So we can keep ourselves from trouble. Right? Let me get that. There's more. Con, you got it.
Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.
And that's what you ultimately are going to be doing, right? You're going to be dealing in proud wrath, man. Right? You're not going to care what anybody say, right? You just go deal off of wrath, right? You're going to kind of feel it boiling up inside you, and you just going to let it go. Not knowing you dealing unrighteously, right? According to James chapter 1 and verse 19 and 20. You're into that wrath mode. You're not going to deal righteously. You're going to deal nothing but unrighteousness, right? So we don't want to be that person that has proud wrath, right? We want to be that person that just keeps their mouth, right? You be a little patient, right? Sometimes you just got to be a little quiet, man. Right? Because talking a lot and being angry, right? You don't see a whole situation, right? You got to bring it up.
All right, since we're on the topic of keeping your tongue, right, and wrath, that's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 11. A fool travaileth with a word as a woman in labor of a child, right? So sometimes people have a thought in their mind, right? And it says, as a woman travaileth, right? A fool travaileth with the word. They kind of blurting that thing out. They say whatever is on their mind at the time, instead of sitting back and thinking about what they're going to say first and then saying it, right? It says, for a fool travaileth with the word as a woman in labor of a child. When that woman is pushing out that child, hey, she's screaming, man, at the top of their lungs, for the most part, right? Only a fool is gonna say what's on their mind at first, right? Instead of just thinking about it, right? It says, as an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly. Now you over here overthinking about that word, right? Those words that were said. You kind of sitting on it, right? And it's making your chest hot, right? When it comes to these words that's being said, you shouldn't be kindled in the fire of your anger, right? They only words, and yeah, words is powerful, right? But you can get over that. Kind of keep your tongue. How you?
Hey, that's the best thing to do, man. Just keep your tongue. Just keep your mouth, right? Because you don't know who you truly talking to, right? We don't know who we are in the spirit, right? Damn, you might be talking to Daniel in the spirit, man. You might be talking to David, man. And you just giving them all hell, right? Pouring out your anger. Kind of want to fight them. That's going to hell off. Right, let's get Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1 real quick. All right, we got to know who we talking to, man. Right, we just can't be talking crazy to them, everybody, man. Right, when it come to Esau, yeah. Right, when it come to Moab, Ishmael, all these other nations, all right, you got the gold, right? You got the green light, right? But when it come to your own people, hey, man, this is what you got to do. I bring it up.
That's the book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. Let brotherly love continue.
Right? We got to let brotherly love continue. Right? Let brotherly love continue. Have love for your nation. Have love for your people. Have love for the person you're talking to, man. Right? Because 9 out of 10 times you're talking to your people. All right? Sisters might be talking to another sister over the phone or just face to face, man. All right? Trying to break down certain things to her. All right? She not trying to adhere to it. Right? She's not trying to listen to that. But you still gotta have that love towards her, man. And even for the brothers, when you out there on the highways and byways talking to your people, right? He don't care about the Bible. He don't care about nothing you saying, right? But you still gotta have brotherly love. Because that little seed you planted in that person, you don't know if the Most High is just going to, make it grow now. Now that brother coming back to camp, right? He seen the video, he apologizing to brothers, right? He acknowledged that he was dealing foolishly, right? Now he asking brothers, how can I get fringes, right? How can I get in contact with you brothers, right? Can I get the location of where y'all hold gatherings and stuff at, man? We have to know we have to watch how we talk to our people, right? We don't want to scare none of our people from the truth, right? Because it's not a scary thing coming into the truth. It's not a scary thing, nor is it a hard thing to keep the commandments of the Most High. It's not hard to stop smoking. It's not hard to stop drinking excessively. It's not hard to love your people, no matter what. It's not hard to take care of your family. Right? It's not hard to train up your child in the way he shall go. Right? It's not hard to do the work of the Lord. You should rather want to serve the Most High God. In doing that, you have to let brotherly love continue. Right? Read on.
Be not forgetful to entertain strangers.
Right? Don't be forgetful to entertain strangers, man. That's what our people are doing. Y'all are entertaining strangers. Y'all don't know who y'all entertaining. When you talk to a brother or sister, don't get puffed up and angry, man. Become wrathful, a furious man. Don't become that way. Because you don't know who you're entertaining. But read on.
For thereby some have entertained angels unawares.
And you might be entertaining an angel of the Most High. And you don't even know it. Most High sent an angel down there to kind of chop it up with you, man. Get you off your feet, right? Kind of try to test you to get you out the spirit, right? Kind of get in the button pushing mode. You have to be able to control your spirit because you might be entertaining an angel. You might be talking to a mighty brother that you'll be reading about in the scriptures. You might be talking to your favorite brother that comes out of the scriptures. So don't forget, you might be entertaining an angel. So in that, you have to control your anger. You have to stop being so wrathful, right? Stop being so furious. The best way to go is to be humble, man. Become that peacemaker, like we read in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 9, man. That's the best way to go. Yeah, oppression gonna make you angry. Best believe we're gonna be angry. But who do we point that anger towards? Right? Who are we supposed to point that anger towards? Does anybody have an answer to that?
Salakia.
Okay, you got it up.
The other nations.
Right. That anger is supposed to be pointed to the other nations. Because say if you point it to your own people, right? You point it to another brother, another sister. Now you got some hatred towards your own brother. Now you got some hatred towards your own sister, right? Now you might just bear some false witness against your brother or your sister. Now you might try to brawl against your brother or your sister, right? You have to know where to turn that anger towards, and it's not your own people, man. Many accounts telling you love your brother. Not to be angry, not to become wrathful, not to become that furious man, but to love them no matter what. Because imagine what H.O.I could have did, man. Right? Imagine what he could have did. He could have took out everybody, man. But he came with a mission. He knew what he had to do. There was many unbelievers. There was many people that didn't believe in H.O.I. There's many that scoffed against him, many that spit on him, kind of offered him up to the Romans, man. But what did he do, man? He just went with it, man, right? He became patient. He told the Most High, they don't know what they're doing. That's how we got to be. Our people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they say. They don't have any understanding. All right, let me get that real quick. Let's get a quick one. Hold that. Let me get Isaiah chapter 44. Let me see. verse 18.
That's the book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 18. They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes.
And that's the thing, right? They have not known nor understood because the Most High shut their eyes. It don't matter how much you kind of bring it out to the brother, try to down. You try to pry it open his eyes, man. Nah. If the Most High shut his eyes, them eyes gonna be shut. Ain't nothing you could do about it. It don't matter if that's your best friend, right? Your long lost friend, right? Big brother, little brother, big sister, little sister. No. Girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, husband. It don't matter, man. The Most High shut their eyes. Hey, there ain't nobody else that can open them unless the Most High puts that order in. Right, we don't?
For he has shut their eyes that they cannot see.
And they cannot see. They don't see who you truly are. They don't see you as a messenger of the Most High. They don't see you as a brother or a sister. They just see you as another person on a block that they potentially have to kill, man. Or they got to fight, right? Or they got to call the police on. Call Esau, tell him to bring the paddy wagon, take all these people to jail. That's how they looking at you. Because the Most High shut their eyes, man. We brothers and sisters have to use discernment, good judgment, right? Sometimes you have to deem a person as a fool. If they don't want to adhere to the law, statutes, and commandments, if they don't want to have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai, instead they want to keep the commandments of men. They want to continue to smoke weed, right? They want to sell weed to their own people, right? They want to whore out their own women, right? If they doing all those things, hey man, you kind of gotta let them go, man. Because what's more important? You staying in the spirit, right? Teaching with meekness, right? Keeping your mouth to keep your soul from trouble, or trying to go against the Most High and try to open up their eyes, man. Open up their ears. Because that's ultimately what you're doing. If the Most High don't want them to listen, they not gonna listen. You don't have the power to open up their eyes or their ears. You can't go against the Most High. Don't matter how much you do it. We're supposed to be servants to the Most High. The servant is not greater than his master. Right? We don't.
And their hearts that they cannot understand.
And they're not going to be able to understand, man. It's as simple as that. Right? The Most High kind of just flipped the switch on them, man. He kind of turned it off. They're not going to listen. Even people in this truth. Right? Brothers and sisters in this truth, they might just fall out the truth, man. Right? Why? Because the Most High flipped that switch off, man. He kind of blew out their candlestick, man. Put them right back into the world, right? Took their name out of the book of life, man. And just sent them on their way. And who are we to try to bring them back in? Who are we to try to go against the Most High's orders? Right? So for brothers that's out there teaching on the highways and byways, if a brother and sister or sister is well. For brothers and sisters, right, if they not listening, right, if they don't want to understand, they want to continue to praise Allah, they want to continue to do their wicked ways, you got to kind of let them go. But if there's a slight way of them saying they want to understand, keep on building with them. right? But if they just don't want to adhere to it, if they just want to say, oh, hell with it, they just want to leave it alone, all right, you leave it alone too. Just let them go on their way, because we not out here for everybody. We out here for 1/3, same amount the Most High want, right? The only thing about it, we don't know who the 1/3 is, so brothers and sisters got to use discernment. Y'all got to use good judgment, right? We get Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 11. Let's get Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 11.
This is for the Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 11. A fool uttereth all his mind.
See, a fool uttereth all his mind, man. A fool just gonna say whatever is on his mind. But what?
A wise man keepeth it in till afterward.
But a wise man's gonna keep it in until afterwards. He gonna kind of sit back, just be quiet. He gonna keep his mouth to keep his soul from trouble, right? He gonna stay in the spirit, right? He's gonna keep it till afterwards. There's a time for everything. Maybe it's not that time to say certain things, but you got to keep it inside until afterwards, right? Let's get Proverbs. Con, you got it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 8. Scornful men bring a city into a snare, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest.
Con, right? If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. So you're not going to be getting any rest with contending with a foolish man. That's why I said brothers got to use discernment, good judgment on who these foolish people are. Because everybody's not going to be righteous. Everybody's not going to want to understand. Everybody's not going to want to stand there and listen. Everybody's not going to want to open up the scriptures and read. Right? So we have to not contend with these foolish people. Right? Because there is no rest. You're not going to get any rest. There's not going to be one day where that brother is going to come in the truth. Unless the Most High orders it, man. You just go ahead, plant your seed, and keep it moving. Don't be standing out there for 10 hours trying to teach a foolish man. When you got other fish just swimming by. That's what we are. We're fishermen, man. Right? So as a fisherman, you have different type of bait, right? So that foolish man comes up, right? You kind of gave him some bait, but he kind of spit it out, man. He ain't want to eat it. He ain't want to digest it. He kind of spit it out. That's them type of fish you don't want, man. You gonna have fish. You gonna have throw a different type of bait in. You wheel in a fish that want to actually eat and digest it, right? He gonna kind of stay there for hours, man. Then they're gonna stand up for the whole camp. That's the type of fish you want. You don't want a fish that is foolish, man. Because there's no rest. You're going to keep on beating a dead horse, man. And we shouldn't be down for that. We shouldn't be trying to do that.
Salaki.
Fish in the pond. Con, you got it up.
Yeah, this scripture can also be used for a person that's in the truth as the wise man, and a person that presumes that he's in the truth but becomes a scoffer as a foolish man. Right? If you already know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Whether he rage, that means he's getting mad, getting pissed off, getting vexed, right? Or he got anger issues that he don't really want to deal with, or whether he laughs, whether he takes one thing as a joke. So at one point he's pissed off at you, mad at you, could be a he or she. At another point, they laughing, they joking with you. It says there is no rest. right? If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man. So if you're using wisdom in this truth and you contending, you trying to fight against, or you trying to battle against a wicked nigga, a wicked woman that presumes she's in this truth and she's vexing your spirit, whether they having a good time or a bad time, leave them alone. They ain't gonna give you no rest because they're gonna text you early up in the morning, scoffing at you, subliminals, put posts on Facebook. They can't sleep because they're trying to compete with you. So that's what contendeth mean. You need a contender. That's a battle. That's a fight. That's a boxing match, right? So don't even spar with that person. Don't even fight with that person. Leave that person alone. Con? Yeah, they're gonna take too much of your time and waste your energy and waste your time. So don't even fight with them. That's like that saying, you ain't gotta fight every battle. You know, it's gonna bring you down low. You ain't gotta fight every battle. Some battles just let somebody fight it for their damn self. So word to the wise, man. How you?
Con, that's real.
Yeah, just block them. That's it.
That's the way I.
Yeah, straight up, I.
God, man.
Block their ass.
Yeah, man, because there's other fish in the pond now. You know, it's all about using discernment, man. All right? Controlling that anger. All right? You got appreciate it.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 22. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Bring it down. All right, so I'm gonna read it again. An angry man stirreth up strife, right? So an angry man is often gonna kind of start stuff, right? They're gonna see something, and then automatically, right, it sets them off, right? 100% of the time, right? It says a furious man aboundeth in transgression. So that fury and that anger up in him can cause him to go off, right? That's basically playing upon tables, right? When you're blinded by your fury and by your by your anger, right? Then you don't take into consideration the consequences of things, right? So I ain't gonna lie, I was like that, right? Before the truth, I'll just spaz out. Shoot, Danyaahla can tell you. Danyaahla know more than anybody, basically, right? My brother would spaz out, and then I'll be like, I'll deal with the consequences later. That's literally what this is talking about. When you're blinded in your you can hear it up in some of these rapper songs, man. All I see is red, or I'm blacking out. You literally blacking out, and you're not considering the consequences of your doings, right? You're not taking into consideration the transgression that's going on, right? It says a man's pride shall bring him low. In your anger, you become prideful. We all know that one person that think in a room full of 20, he can beat everybody up in the room. Hey man, we kind of see it outside. We see it on the highways and byways. You see like 8 6-foot brothers bringing out the word. He get cut by the word, and now he want to fight everybody. He not taking in consideration the consequences that can really bring him, right? And he's puffed up in his pride. That spirit is telling him, "Oh, I could take them all," right? But after he kind of chill out, he's like, "Damn, what am I thinking, man?" Right? It says, "A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit." There's much honor in being humble, right? Hey, you can never be too humble, man, right? Or too patient. These are things that brothers strive to achieve, even now, right? I want to get a little bit more of that humble pie, man, right? Sure, I want to get a little bit more of that meekness and temperance, man, right? But that's something to work on. And it's not an overnight thing. It's a work in progress, right? through much experience, right? Some people are just given that, right? But other people are not really given that. That's not really their office, but it's something to work on, right? Some people's anger may be a thorn in their side. See that? It might be a thorn. Hey, like Danyaahla say, man. Well, like he said earlier, right? Red kind of throwing pots and pans and plates, man. Right? What's that song? I'll bust the windows out your car. Hey, that's real. Eve is out here like that, reckless. We just watched a video of Eve spitting on her brother. You know? And, you know, I don't even think he was mad. And although he kind of uppercutted her to the moon, so he kind of took his time. That was really the top of it. Like, that was the peak of his anger, right? Being spit on, right? He kind of got up slow. You know, he said, yeah, you going to jail. You going to jail now. He said like 3 times, but he was burning on the inside, right? So anger is not always like in the words that you say. It can be in the actions, definitely, right? But I think in that video, he exercised a lot of patience and he just reached his boiling point. You know what I'm saying? But so much honor is up in the humble and the meek up in spirit. Right.
Hey, Cap, you can play that video that I just sent you out.
God.
Yeah, let's play that video, man, because that's this video finna touch on what I was just saying, man.
Christians had a tremendous part.
Let's see, let me put the sound. All right. Can you hear it? Can you hear me? Or
Look, I can hear you, but I don't think we're hearing the video. I don't think anything started.
yeah, it's about to start. That's what.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I don't think there's any sound, Doc.
Hold on.
No.
You know what I did? The fucking distract you!
Can you hear the sound? Or did y'all hear the sound?
Rewind it, Doc.
Huh?
We can hear it.
All right. Yeah, this is Mr. Sam I Am, Uncle.
So, so his wife, right? She done started sleeping with his brother, and this is his brother right here. And y'all see how he raged? Y'all see how angry he got? If any brother went through that, right? That's how that brother probably felt inside. But did he really act out like that? No. He kind of said, yeah, I'm gonna write up a bill of divorcement. Yep, you out of here. Gone. I ain't gonna deal with you no more. Yeah, you know, repent, go on your way. Instead of Eve breaking everything, the brother breaking everything, man. Well, not the brother, but speaking of aspect is as if this is the Israelite, right? Right? He breaking everything. He told you, do you know what I could do with these hands? And then he broke everything, man. He kind of ripped off the door handle off the freezer. He cracked all the glass, man. All the cabinets gone. Are we gonna act out like that? If a brother is put in a situation the same way, is he gonna act? Are you gonna act out like that? Are you gonna act like this when you couldn't wake up a brother or sister at camp? Are you gonna kind of go home and just break everything, man, while your kids upstairs, your rib in the other room reading the scriptures, all because you you could not open up the eyes of that one foolish man? This is a part of examining yourself, having control over your spirit. Because if you do something like this, you're not in control over your spirit. If you kind of want to fight all the time, you don't have control over your spirit. All right, let's finish this video. And you see that? Even though that's his brother, right? That his rib was living with, sleeping with, he became that peacemaker. It was kind of in a way he repented. Because the guy that was breaking everything, he could have went to a higher extent. He said, do you know what I could do with these hands? To his rib. Now, any brother, hey, you know what that means.
There's context to that video.
All right, bring it up.
Because that movie was wild, right? The I'm gonna just call it. I forgot his name. All right, so I'm gonna just call him Spider-Man, right? Because that's what I know him from. You said what his name? Parker. Yeah, Peter Parker, man. All right, so Peter went off to war. He went to the military, right? Just to come and find out. But he had his family, he had his wife and his kids, and for them, he went to war, right? We can read about that, right? How men go overseas for their women, right? In the Apocrypha, right? He went overseas, he did war, came back and found out that his rib was sleeping with his brother, right? Now, I know brothers like, hey, we don't want to act like that. Yeah, in certain manners, but I could understand. He said, do you know what I can do with these hands? Because he done killed many people with them hands. He literally gave his body over for the well-being of his family, right? And that's why he raged like that, because you dishonest and you dirty and you disgusting, right? This is the book of Sirach, right? No, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman. Hey, a woman that kind of had you bug out, or flash out, angry, right? Enraged, man. She do something like that to you and you putting your life on the line for your family, right? It says, and I find more bitter than death the woman. More bitter than death. That's a strong thing to say. Like, you got to think about, like, Solomon going through, like, he really talking. He said, and I find more bitter than death itself, the woman, whose heart is snares and nets, because some of these women get tricky, right? They get sneaky, right? And it says, and her hands as bands, right? And that means like, hey, shackles, handcuffs, man. Her hands is like that to a brother that love her. So a brother will do anything for her. And then bring back all the spoils and bring back all the riches of war to her, to take care of her and his kid. It says, whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, right? So basically keep your head in these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? It says, but the sinner shall be taken by her, meaning you gonna fall for the traps. You're gonna fall for the snares. You're gonna fall for the finessery and the finagling. That's why we need Yahweh Shem Yahushua to keep us on the straight and narrow, right? Or else we're gonna fall by the ways of that system. Now, I'm gonna bring out one more, right? That's the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 6. Let me see. One sec. Let me see. That's not what I wanted quite. Give me 1 second.
What verse? Which one you looking for?
Yeah, it's like right 26 and 6. Con, I got it. Right? It says, oh, Con, I was looking at the wrong one. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all. Right? So that tongue, that mouthpiece that Eve got, hey, that kind of cuts to heart. Right? And some brothers can't take that, so they flash out in a rage. Right? That's why it's important to control your anger and control your rage. Right? Because in the world, brothers was quick to put hands on something. But now, being up in this truth, you have to be humble. You have to be meek and lowly. You got to consider your ways, right? There was one that I was looking for specifically. I got it right here, all right? So, right, chapter 25 and verse 13.
Verse 13?
It says, give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman. Amen. Look, so right, just asked for damn COVID. He done asked for swine flu, damn scoliosis, man. Hey, man, give me the botch of the knees and everything Egypt got to offer regarding plagues. But don't give me the wickedness of a woman. Hey, that wickedness of a woman might have you steal the ghost from somebody, man. Right? But that's why we need to stay up in these scriptures to hearken unto the knowledge and wisdom. Because like Danyaahla brought out, right, in Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, everything written aforetime was written for our learning, right? So that we know how to handle certain situations that our forefathers didn't know how to handle, right? But all praises.
Let's get Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 29.
And after that, I got one more video as well.
All right,
You said Proverbs 14 and 29?
That's the book of Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 29. He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding.
He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding. You have understanding, right? Of you got to continue to love your people, right? You have understanding that you can't have wrath, right? You can't be a furious man, right? So it's better to be slow, right, to wrath, because that shows that you have great understanding, right, Rita?
Okay. But he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly.
You see that? He that is hasty of spirit, he's quick-tempered, right? He's quick to get angry. Exalted folly. Ain't nothing but foolishness gonna come out of his mouth, out of his actions. Nothing. It's gonna be just nothing but foolishness, right? So we want to be slow to wrath, to show that we have great understanding, that we actually understand, right, what can happen to us if we become that furious man, right? If we become that hasty of spirit, right? If we become wrathful, right? We understand what can happen to us, man. Your spirit will be troubled. Now you find yourself going off. Now you holding grudges. Now you try to leave brothers, man. I'm not part of y'all no more, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing, right? You end up starting up your own camp, man, right? It's nothing but angry people in the camp, man. Kind of putting their hands on everybody they trying to edify. All right, we don't want to be that person that is wrathful. We want to be slow to wrath. Very slow. The same way H.O.I is, the same way that Yahweh is, man. We have to be the same way. Right? Being the children of the Most High, we should try to be like our Father. Right? Being children of the Most High, we should try to be like our big brother Yahushua. And that's being slow to wrath, man. Because if you want to be real, we all deserve that punishment, man. We really deserve it. We all deserve to be put to death, man. But the Most High winked at our ignorance, man. The Most High had mercy on us. And we repent so many times, he's gonna forget our iniquity, man. He's gonna forgive us. But you got to put in the effort. You have to be slow to wrath. You have to know how to control your anger. And the answers are in the scriptures. So you got to actually open up your scriptures, man. You got to open up your book and read like it says in Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. Right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 32.
That's Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty.
He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. Right? Who are those mighty? Right? Warriors, man. Right? They go on the battlefield every day. They fight, right? They kind of have that little anger in them going against them other nations, man. Right? But he that is slow to anger is better than them, man. The same way, if you're keeping the commandments and you're teaching the commandments, right? You're better than the Pharisees, man. Because the Pharisees knew the law to a T, but they didn't do it. They didn't apply it, man. Right? So you're better than the mighty if you're slow to anger. Right, read on.
And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
And he that rules his spirit, man. Right? He's slow to anger. Right? Ruling over your spirit, right? You have control over your spirit. You're better than he that taketh the city. That's a ruler. You're better than that person. Right? They're even showing with this, there's ranks in this thing, man. Right? We're not all equal, man. Right? Some brothers won't have the same type of patience, right? Some brothers won't be that peacemaker. Some brothers, right, won't be able to bring it out like another brother. Right? We're not all the same. Right? The thing that we are the same about, right, is being above all these nations. Right? The ones that keep the commandments, have faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, they're children of the Most High. They were all, we're Israelites, man. We're equally in this truth. Right? But he that ruleth his spirit, then he that taketh the city, man. We should want to rule over our spirit. We should want to be in the spirit at all times. We should be praying to the Most High to ask him to keep us in the spirit at all times, man. Whether we at the damn plantation, right? Or while we with the brothers at camp. Stay in the spirit at all times, man. These are things we should be praying for, right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. All right, did you want to bring out your video?
Yeah, Con,
you got it up.
Bring it out real quick. Yeah, just a quick snippet. So,
keep the excitement of the NBA season rolling with FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get 10.
Store credit. I want my money back. There's nothing that I can do about it. That's just their policy. Like it won't even come back in as a return to a brand new game. It's when I scan your receipt, it's gonna see when this one was bought, and it's gonna automatically give you trade credit. How you doing today, sir? Thank you for calling GameStop. This is Brian. How can I help you? I'm gonna have to just check out your system.
Hi, welcome to GameStop.
yeah, so basically the dude bought a game in GameStop, and he tried to get his money back, but they said he had to bring the receipt, and they only give him like half price off because that's the policy. You know, I think the dude skipped past the policy. He didn't read it or nothing, right? So they said, that's the only way you're going to get your money back. You're going to get half off. And the dude just started flipping. And this is what happened, man.
It's when I scan, and it's going to automatically give you trade credit.
See? So giving back the store credit.
How you doing today, sir?
So why is this important? Because they got this man face all over the place. They got his pictures on the GameStop stores. And I know the police came over to his apartment and he probably got charged and arrested for vandalizing, you know, and destroying other people's property. All for damn near $20. All because he couldn't control his anger. So his ass probably in jail right now, got to pay for different charges that he got charged with, you know, and all because of anger. So it took something that was $20, and now he probably got to pay $10,000, $5,000, whatever. And his face is all over the place too. So, yep, yeah, that's it.
All because of a game.
All because of a game.
Man, y'all people, man, that's off, man. And you see why the other nations be like, oh, black people aggressive. These niggas like that give us a bad name, man. That rep us the wrong way, man. There's a time for everything, but that's not a time to get angry over a game. You probably bought Super Smash Bros, bro. And you mad over a game. In the other video, the sister was mad about 40 Cent. Damn, a person in the store could have just gave her that, man. Our people get angry off of the most pettiest things, man. And stuff like that gotta stop. That's why it's important to come to these scriptures and get the solution. Because the spirit on your sword gonna kind of jump on you, and hey man, you gonna try to adhere to these scriptures. You might be reading 4 to 10 chapters a day, man. Just about open up your sword, open up your Bible. Things like that shouldn't be going on, man. It's Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28.
25 and 28.
This Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
So he that hath no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down, right? And without walls. So now you just destroyed, and you ain't got nothing to protect you, man. Now any spirit could just jump on you and do whatever it want to do to you. Cause you to go off in millions of ways now. Now you was in the truth one day, and now you just up out of there, man. And we know, hey, Passover is coming up, man. The sifting season, man. It came right back around. And we know that Satan out here doing double his work. He doing overtime. He ain't doing 12-hour shifts, man. He doing 24-hour shifts. He up every day. No sleep, no nothing. Trying to throw you off. So you want to rule over your spirit so that you won't be that city that is broken down. So that you can have walls around you. So that you can have a protection of safety, man. Because spirits are coming left and right, man. There's millions of spirits, man. There's good spirits and there's evil spirits. And when you're not girded up, hey, man, them spirits could hop on you. So you want to rule over your spirit. Because if you don't rule over your spirit, you're like a city that's broken down. And we don't want to be that city that's broken down. Right? Let's get Sirach chapter 10 and verse 8.
That's the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 8. Become us luckier because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and rich. That's what you want.
That's not what I want. Let me see. Salakia.
Chapter 6.
Sirach chapter 10 and verse 18.
10 and 18.
Sirach chapter 18 and verse Salakia. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 18.
This Sirach chapter 10 and verse 18. Pride was not made for man.
See, pride is not made for man. All right, read on.
Nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman.
So furious anger wasn't made for the man either. Right? For them that are born of a woman. We're all born of a woman, man. So furious anger was not made for us, man. There's no reason why brothers should want to tap into being a furious man. It's not made for us. So we shouldn't be trying to become that furious man, right? Always angry. Kind of got a frown on your face all the time, man. Right? You walk in a room, you got everybody's spirit messed up, man. Everybody can see the spirit that's on you. You don't want to be that person, especially coming into Passover. You don't want to walk into those doors where it's hundreds of Israelites, man. You walk in, you the only one that's furious. And you getting ready to eat that unleavened bread, the lamb, the bitter herb, right? You're causing yourself to be in damnation, right? Right? Let me find it. Let me get, I believe it's Colossians, right? Chapter 3 and verse 29. That's what I want.
Which one you looking for?
Even the
lamb?
Yeah. And
1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians.
11 and start at 28. Start at 28.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 28. But let a man examine himself.
That's what we got to do in these last days. Examine yourself, right? Try to fix your spirit. Whatever you was going through, right? Try to fix it, man. Right? Whether it's you kind of got a jealousy spirit, an anger spirit, being furious, not being able to control your spirit, having a hatred towards your brother, right? You got to examine yourself and try to fix that thing, man. Read on.
And so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup.
So if you examine yourself, go ahead and eat of the bread and drink of that cup, right? Drink that wine and eat that bread, man. If you have examined yourself, right? Read on.
For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily.
If you drink it and eat it unworthily, meaning you haven't examined yourself, you haven't corrected your spirit, right? Read on.
Eateth and drinketh damnation to himself.
You only causing damnation to yourself. You're going to cause yourself to be destroyed by the Most High because you didn't want to examine yourself. You didn't want to turn out of your wicked ways, man. Right, read on.
Not discerning the Lord's body.
Not discerning the Lord's body, man. You're not out here trying to fix yourself. You're not trying to examine yourself. You're not trying to be a better man. You're not trying to be a better woman, right? You're not trying to cast off that old man. You're trying to keep that old man. And you kind of just saying, the hell with that new man. We should try to take away that old man, right? And put on that new man, right? So examine yourself before going to this Passover. No brother or sister should be walking up in there angry, right? Trying to cause a fight while the lesson coming out, man. While everybody drinking and being married. There should be none of that, man. Even for brothers and sisters in the world as well, man. You shouldn't be because I know there's brothers and sisters that's probably watching this, man. Right? We shouldn't be angry all the time. Right? No matter what a brother does to you, right? I'm not saying forget about it, but I'm saying forgive them, right? And you don't have to necessarily deal with him or her. Because there's a lot of Israel that's not Israel, man. There's a lot of Israel that act the part. Being deceitful. And a lot of that, it shows during this time of Passover. You got a lot of people kind of falling out the truth now. Falling out the truth, right? They kind of leaving the camp now, trying to do their own thing, man, right? Which is leaving the camp, doing your own thing isn't necessarily wrong. But when you're doing that out of a grudge over a brother and a sister, then you're going off. So brothers and sisters need to examine themselves before this Passover because we're getting too close. And you don't want to eat that bread, right? And drink of that cup if you're not worthy, man. We do a fast every Wednesday, man. If you're not doing the fast, hey, man, you need to examine yourself. You need to go ahead and get into it. This is the perfect time to get back to it, man. I've been telling brothers, man, like, hey, I needed this fast, man, right? And I'm going to do it again this Wednesday because it kind of put me back on track, right? This new job and all, right? I'm trying to find a balance between studying, right, and going to work for wicked Esau, man. But ain't nothing with this fast. It showed me to not let anything come between me and the Most High. Me and studying to show myself approved. The only reason I'm able to do a class right now, because I studied to show myself approved. I was put right back on track, man. Like now I'm studying like there's no tomorrow, man. Because this knowledge was gonna save you. right? Because all hell gonna get is getting ready to break loose now. No man knows the time when your house shall gonna crack that sky, man. You don't know when the day of the Lord is gonna be, right? So it's time to examine yourself. We all need to examine ourselves. We all need to go ahead and fast Wednesday, right? We need to continue to pray, right? We need to reset yourself, man. All right, let's get Sirach chapter 27, verse 30.
Sirach chapter 27 and verse 30. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations.
And you see that? Malice and wrath are an abomination. No brother should be moving or sister should be moving in malice and wrath, man. Because it's an abomination, right? And how does the Most High God feel about abominations, man? Right? How does the Most High God feel about abominations? Anybody got the answer?
The Lord hateth all abominations.
Come on, let's get that. All right. Let's get Sirach chapter 15 and verse 13. Right? How does the Most High God feel about abominations?
This Sirach chapter 15 and verse 13. The Lord hateth all abomination.
The Most High hates all abominations. He hates when a man has malice and wrath. So if you continue to have malice and wrath, right, the Most High God hates you because he hates that abomination. And you became that abomination by having malice and wrath. Read on.
And they that fear God love it not.
And if you fear the Most High God, truly, you're not going to love those things, man. You're not going to love malice and wrath. You're not going to love being a furious man. You're not going to love being angry all the damn time, man. You're going to actually want to change. You're going to try to search out the scriptures to get the answer. Right? You're going to call up a brother and ask for them precepts, man. Right? You're going to kind of call a brother and ask and talk to him about the situation. Because you love it not. You don't love how you're moving. That's a part of examining yourself. Know how you're moving and fix it immediately, ASAP. Because the time is at hand, right? Let's go back to Sirach chapter 27, verse 30.
The Sirach chapter 27 and verse 30. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations. And the sinful man shall have them both.
You see that? If you have malice and wrath, you become that sinful man, right? And with being that sinful man, you have both. Not just one, but both of them. If you have malice, you have wrath. If you have wrath, you have malice. So the solution to that, hey, you got to examine yourself. You have to know how to control your spirit. This is why this lesson is being brought out, man. Because I know a lot of brothers deal with that. Brothers just needed the precepts to go ahead and show them how to examine themselves before this Passover. Because this Passover ain't no game. This is life or death, man. And I want to see my people live. Right? Not only doing this for myself, doing this for the nation, huh? Right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 22, because you brought it out earlier and I was in the spirit.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 22. An angry man stirreth up strife, and a furious man aboundeth in transgression.
So an angry man stirs up strife, right? That man is always starting problems, disagreements, right? Conflicts. troubles within the people, right? We don't want to be that way, right? And a furious man, right? The last scripture, the furious man was not made, right? It wasn't made for us, right? A furious man aboundeth in transgression. So you're a sinner. If you're a furious man saying, oh, I keep the commandments, I do all the high and holy days, right? I don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster no more, right? I go out on the highways and byways every Friday and Saturday. But being that furious man, you're in transgression. So you're still sinning, man. And a lot of times brothers can see that. Moving in the spirit, brothers that's moving in the spirit, they can see that, man. Right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 24.
It's Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 24. Make no friendship with an angry man.
Do what?
Make no friendship with an angry man.
You can't be friends with an angry man. Don't be trying to be out here friends with somebody that's angry all the damn time, because what's that's gonna do to you? That's gonna kind of rub off on you. And now you're in sin. Now you're in transgression. Now you're out here hating your own people. Right? Because a friend that is an angry man, he don't know how to channel his anger. He don't know where to put his anger at. He don't have control over his own damn spirit. So you can't make friendships with that person, because now you're dwelling with people that sin. And that's just going to rub off on you. And now you back into the world, man. Right? So, you got to keep your distance. You have to keep your distance from them type of people. Right? Read on.
And with a furious man, thou shalt not go.
And it will be the smartest thing for you to not go to a furious man. Now you got to ask yourself, why not go to a furious man? Right? Let me get Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 15. Why shouldn't we go to a furious man? Don't go with a furious man. All these answers are in the scriptures, man. You just have to be the one to search them out, man. Bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 15. My son, walk not thou in the way of them.
Right. Don't walk with them. Right. Don't walk with them. Right. Don't walk side by side with them. Read on.
Refrain thy foot from their path.
Right. Don't try to walk in the path they're walking in, because they're walking into the path of destruction. And if you want to be right behind them, then so be it. But hey, as being an Israelite, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and have faith in Yahweh Shai, you should refrain your foot from their path, man. From that path that they're walking down. Right, read on.
For their feet run to evil.
Their feet run to evil, right? They do nothing but wickedness. They commit sins against the Most High. Right, read on.
And make haste to shed blood.
That's why you can't be with a furious man, because he makes haste to shed blood. Let's get a little bit deeper into that. Let me get Sirach chapter 8 and verse 16.
This Sirach, that was the spirit, because that's where I was going. This Sirach chapter 8, you saying verse 16? Strive not with an angry man.
All right.
And go not with him into a solitary place.
Right, you can't. That's why you can't be with a furious man as well, right? Not going into a solitary place, right? Kind of having your one-on-one time with him, right? Trying to chop it up. No. Read on.
For blood is as nothing in his sight.
He see nothing but blood, man. Well, what'd you say? Them rappers be saying?
I'm blacking out.
I'm blacking out.
I see red.
I see red. They see nothing but blood, man. They furious. They hate their own damn people. And a furious man, believe it or not, can deceive you. He could befriend you. He could see you as a friend of me, man. Y'all go to a party, man, right? He said, hey, man, I got to chop it up with you, man. I got to talk about this thing that happened. Y'all go ahead to the damn garage, man. He got a damn Glock in his hand, man. Because he sees nothing but blood. Read on.
For blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee.
He gonna overthrow you. It don't matter what you could do. It don't matter if you know the best karate, right? You know hand-to-hand combat to a T, right? You kind of know how to flip everywhere. No, right? There is no help. Most High not gonna allow it. He will overthrow you. Because the Most High gave you solutions on how not to be with that person and how to control your anger. So now, hey, that person gonna overthrow you, right? Now you're gonna be like, hey, you better have my money every month, man. Or something bad gonna happen to you. That's what a furious man will say. Furious man have you in a solitary place, damn threaten you with everything, man. So the Most High don't want you around those type of people. He don't want you around furious men. Because those men and those women do nothing but wicked deeds, man. They transgress the laws of the Most High. You shouldn't want to be around them, especially if you're trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right?
Lucky.
Huh.
Yeah, I go at the Gabar. I got a quick precept, but I go at the Gabar.
Okay. I'm gonna go up a verse. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 8 and verse 15, right? Because it's a little bit context on that, right? It says, "Travel not by the way with a bold fellow." A bold fellow kind of is that one that think that he can beat everything and anything up under the sun, right? No matter what, I don't care if I get hit with a damn rocket, nigga, I'm Superman. That's what a bold fellow thinks in his head. And above all, like we was talking about earlier, that's pride, right? It says, "Travel not by the way with the bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly." So he gonna black out, man. That bold fellow gonna kind of black out. He gonna see red. He gonna get you and him in a situation that y'all can't get out of. Y'all might die, right? Because he's not using wisdom, right? People that just flash out in anger, they don't have any wisdom. They don't have any sense of urgency, right? So it says, "Travel not by the way with the bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee. For he will do according to his own will." He's gonna, no matter what you say, he's gonna go according to what he's thinking, right? His own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. You can die because he's acting tough, huh? Right? Because he blacking out, right? Kind of cursing out the whole mall or something, right? Kind of breaking everything up in the venue, right? Pushing over all the games in GameStop, threatening the whole bus. Hey, he might become grievous unto you, and he might just get you and him killed, right? Or he might get you, he might get you and him killed, right? Because he wants to be in his pride. It says, "Strive not with an angry man, and go not with him into a solitary place." And the Lord kind of said, watch your back around an angry man like that, right? Watch your back and don't go into places alone with him, right? Do you think that David was going to go into a solitary place with Saul? Man, hell no. Saul was after his head, man. He wasn't going to go nowhere with Saul for real, right? It says, "For blood is as nothing in his sight." You think he cares about blood, right? An angry man don't really care about blood, right? A bold man does not really care about blood for real, right? It says blood is as nothing to him. It might as well be air. He might as well breathe in blood. An angry man don't care about blood, and he don't care about who that blood belongs to. Like an incident at camp, man. right? When a brother was like, a brother, right, at camp, man, he not even really with us for real, but he come around every now and then talking about make it happen, Captain. Yeah, you could have got blown down that day, right? Lord knows we in hostile neighborhoods anyway. You could have got killed. We cannot travel by the way with them. He kind of got mad. How come y'all don't invite me nowhere? Because travel not with a bold fellow. Strive not with an angry man. Right? For blood is as nothing in his sight. Hey, we kind of had to learn that lesson on the incident. Right? We had to learn that lesson. You can't go nowhere with people like that. They get into it with your family. Next thing you know, a gun is involved. Hey, you think he bulletproof? Right? You know what I'm talking about, Cap.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
God,
why you gonna take it? Take what? Now you putting brothers in a difficult situation. Where if he blow you, hey, we witnesses. So guess what? He gonna tag the whole car. We know that. You cannot go nowhere with a bold or angry fellow, now. Right? Because he don't give a damn about blood. It says, for blood is as nothing in his sight, and where there is no help, he will overthrow thee. Right? So hey, you can't be alone with him. Hey, he might be drunken, right? He might be drunk and flash out. Hey, and where there's no people, there's no help. So 2 is better than 1, right? Because another person got help. Don't go with nobody that's bold or angry alone. They might just turn on you, right? And now you don't got no help, and now your life hangs in the balance. How you?
Yeah, beautiful point, that and that comes with experience. You know, it's one thing to tell somebody this, it's another thing for them to see it for themselves. And they like, yo, this dude is crazy.
See that?
And then that scripture means more now. You get that understanding from that scripture now. You know? So where now you bringing up the precept and you breaking it down with that same experience you had. Because you've seen it.
Right.
That's what it's about, man. I just want to bring out a quick example. This is a good little story example. 2 Samuel chapter 3. And go to verse 23. It's speaking about Joab. Now, Joab was a mighty man. This is Sirach chapter 8, especially from 15 on down, where it says, strive not with an angry man and go not with him into a solitary place. For blood is as nothing in his sight. What is that speaking about? A person that's a bloodthirsty man. Right? They get hyped. When it's time to fight, they get hyped. They want to kill somebody. They just don't want to beat somebody up. That ain't nothing. They want to kill somebody. They want to take a life. Because when you take another man's life and that blood, it's like a blood rush. That's how Esau operates. He feels alive. When he takes another person's life, he feels alive. And when there is no help, he will overthrow thee. Right? You get caught slipping by yourself. Let's get that real quick. 2 Samuel 3 and verse 20. Let's see, verse 23.
That's the book of 2 Samuel chapter 3 and verse 23. When Joab and all the host that was with him were come, they told Joab, saying, Abner, the son of Ner, came to the king, and he has sent him away.
Right. So read on.
And is gone in peace.
Right. So this is an issue between Joab and Abner, 2 men, mighty men. Right. Joab from David and his group, and Joab is the tribe of Judah. Abner is the tribe of Benjamin. Read on.
Then Joab came to the king and said, what hast thou done? Behold, Abner came unto thee. Why is it that thou hast sent him away, and he is quiet gone?
So what happened with Joab, previous story in 2 Samuel, Joab and his nephews had a sparring match between Abner and his nephews, right? And Joab started it, and his nephews lost the battle. And one of his nephews died by the hands of Abner. Abner wasn't trying to fight the dude, but the young kid kept pressing the issue. because he got cocky, he got proud. And guess what? He's following after his uncle footsteps, Joab. And Joab is very bloodthirsty. So Joab was that gangster nobody wanted to mess with. So what happened? Abner had to defend himself. And he killed his nephew by mistake out of self-defense. So now Joab tried to chase Abner down and try to kill him. And Abner got away. So Joab been holding that malice and that grudge to that day till he seen Abner again. But by the time he seen Abner, David already called Abner to have a peace treaty with him and the Benjamites. Right? Let bygones be bygones. Everything, whatever happened before, put that to the side. Let's build. Right? So now Joab comes in after Abner left. And Joab found out that Abner is there. He was looking for Abner for months. Right? Read on.
Thou knowest Abner, the son of Ner, that he came to deceive thee, and to know thy going out and thy coming in, and to know all that thou doest.
So he's lying to David about Abner. So he's making up stuff just to make Abner look bad. But Abner is a righteous man. And y'all brothers know how we can compare these stories. Right? Our brother get pissed off, they get mad, they don't get what they want, and now they want to make you like the enemy. So as a person of reason is speaking unto him, like, yo, nah, that's all dead. We in peace. He's like, nah, you gonna let this nigga go? Man, this nigga proud and all this. Hey, what? Wait, I'm not more on fire than you? You gonna let him go? I'm not more on fire than him? Huh? Hey, who was here longer? Did I follow your orders? Who was here longer? You let that man go? Read on.
And when Joab was come out from David, he sent messengers after Abner, which brought him again from the well of Sirah, but David knew it not.
Read that last part again. But David what?
But David knew it not.
So what did Joab do? Because of his anger, because of his pride, and because of his bloodlust and vengeance, he went behind David back, went got his own messengers, went and probably give out some flyers, right? And told him, yo, listen, let me go speak to that dude again. Behind David back. And he said, call Abner back. He lied and said, David said to call Abner back. Read on. Lying bastard.
And when Abner was returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him under the fifth
and he
rib.
Did what? And he did what?
Smote him there under the fifth rib, that he died for the blood of Asahel, his brother.
See? So he told Abner to come back and deceived him and said, let me go speak with you. Spoke with him one-on-one, went in the cut. And that's that precept in Sirach chapter 8. Don't follow a bloody man and don't be alone with him. He got there alone with him. He thought Abner thought he was cool with him. Everything was good. David already told him the peace, and then he stabbed him in the middle of the rib, the fifth rib. So he brought him back to himself, got his vengeance. Read on.
And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord, forever from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner.
Right? So he said, the blood is off my hands. I'm not taking no blame for this. Read on.
Let it rest on the head of Joab and on all his father's house. And let there not fail from the house of Joab one that hath an issue, or that is a leper, or that leaneth on a staff, or that falleth back on the sword, or that lacketh bread.
Right, read on.
So Joab and Abishai, his brother, slew Abner because he had slain their brother Asahel at Gibeon in the battle.
Right. So basically, David put a curse on Joab for doing that, for going against him. And David said, don't blame me. The blood is off my hands. This blood is going to be on you and your whole entire family for what you just did. We had peace, and then you brought back war amongst each other, amongst Israel. right? We moved in the spirit of brotherhood, brotherly love, and you came back with more discord and dissension, right? Let me get one more. This is another thing Joab did. 2 Samuel chapter 20. And then I'll yield. 2 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 7.
The 2 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 7. And there went out after him Joab's men and the Cherethites and the Pelethites and all the mighty men. And they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bishrai.
Right. So this is another instance. Joab still with his men, his mighty men. He got his warriors, right? But they're a band of bloody murderers. They're bloody murderers. They're warriors, but they're bloody murderers. They're a bunch of hotheads. They don't know how to control themselves. So now what happened with this situation? David took away Joab's rank as a captain because his hothead self, he don't want to be disciplined. He don't want to follow orders, right? And David stripped him of his rank and gave it to somebody else. Read on.
God. When they were at the great stone, which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them.
So David gave the captain rank from Joab to the mighty man named Amasai. Right? So what did Joab did? Read on.
And Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and unto it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out.
All right, read on.
And Joab said to Amasai, art thou in health, my brother?
So he's going to speak good words unto you. He's mad. He's pissed off. He's angry. He has hatred and malice. He has a spirit of vengeance on him. Right? So he's going to speak nice words unto you to lower down your guard. Read on.
And Joab took Amasai by the beard with his right hand to kiss him.
Right. With his right hand. He pulled him by the beard. And look what he did. Read on.
But Amasai took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand. So he smote him therewith in the fifth rib and shed out his bowels to the ground and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, pursued after Sheba, the son of Bishrai.
Right. So Joab killed another man that David appointed as captain out of envy and hatred and jealousy. So now what's going on? Joab is starting to become a problem even more. All right? And he can't follow order, and now he's lashing out everybody else. So what's happening? He's a problem, and guess what? They got to get rid of the problem. And guess who got rid of the problem? Solomon. Had Joab get killed in the altar in the temple. All right? And David, before he died, he let Solomon, his son, know immediately, do not forget what Joab did. Make sure you get rid of him immediately. Because he couldn't do what? Control his anger. All right, are you?
God, mighty story, man. You don't want to be a Joab, man. For real. Let's get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22. Just went through these scriptures, these last few.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 22. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness.
Start at verse 22.
Verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
So that's what we got to do. Put off the former conversation, the old man, right? The old man back in the world was angry, did whatever he wanted to do to his people, held grudges, had hatred towards his own people, right? Never really cared about anybody, right? You got to put that old man off. Read on.
which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts.
Right. So you're corrupt according to your deceitful lust, right? Some brothers and sisters, they damn have a desire to be angry, right? Have a desire to fight all the time. Have a desire to just do nothing but wickedness, right? So whatever you do, you want to cast off that old man, right? Then you'll be able to fulfill controlling your anger, right? Read on.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
So now you're renewed in the spirit of your mind. Now you think a whole different way. Now you know who your enemy is, and now you know who your family is. Right? Read on.
And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
Now you're of true holiness. Now you're of righteousness, putting on that new man, Salakia, right? Because the Most High created the new man in righteousness and in true holiness. That's what we should be striving to be. That new man, right? That's not corrupt anymore. That's not deceitful. That's not hating his own brother or hating his own sister, right? We should strive to be that new man, right? Let me get Romans chapter 12 and verse 2.
There's Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
Right? Don't be conformed to this world, because this world, right, would teach you, right? Would teach you to be angry, right? They'll glorify that, right? The white man has no problem with you being angry, because now you showing yourself off, right? Now you living up to what Esau say, right? Esau tell you, hey, black people, they aggressive, right? They always mad. Black people will beat on you, right, without or steal from you, rob you without you doing anything, right? With you being that old man, with you having hatred, with you not being able to control your anger, you live up to what Esau says, man, about you and your people. Right, Rito?
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Now you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What's going to renew your mind, right? What's going to transform you, right? These scriptures is what's going to transform you, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is what's going to help you control your anger, right? Help you out of certain situations that you're in, right? Help you by the deceitfulness of your mind. He'll help you out of all these things, man. Right? But you have to put your foot forward, right? You have to put in the effort. You have to be the one that actually want to change, man. Right, read on.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
So you'll be able to prove what is good. Because as long as you're angry all the time, a furious man, you can't prove what is good, because you're in transgression, you're in sin. You're doing nothing but wickedness, unlawful things, huh? Right? So while being that old man, you can't prove what is good. Right? By putting off that old man, now you are able to prove what is good, because now you're renewed in your knowledge. Now you're putting on that new man. You could prove what is acceptable and perfect will of God. Now you could explain to your people, you could go out there on the highways or byways and show your people what the Most High God accepts. You could show them what is perfect to the Most High. You could actually teach them now. But you can't be out here teaching your people if you don't have yourself right, because now you're found as a hypocrite. The only reason I'm able to bring out this lesson, right, how to control your anger, is because I've prayed on it, right? I fasted for it, right? And I'm seeing it through my actions right? How patient I've gotten, right? I've used to have anger problems, man. Right, but coming in this truth, I understand. As soon as I came into this truth, I understood that I can't be angry no more, because anger causes you to have hatred. And I'm around nothing but my people. So who is that being aimed towards? My people. So I understood I cannot have hatred. I cannot be angry towards my own people, especially when they don't have the certain understanding that I have, man, or that we have. Right? So the certain ways to controlling your anger, and you gotta pray and fast, man. Right? Let me get that in Matthew chapter 24 26 and verse 41. In Matthew chapter 26 and verse number 41.
That's Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41. Watch and pray.
Do what?
Watch and pray.
H.O.I, right, said watch and pray, man. You got to watch what you're doing. And you got to pray, right? Because you don't want yourself to fall into those things again. You don't want to fall back into being that old man. You don't want to fall back into going back into the world, man. So you have to watch and pray. Read on.
That ye enter not into temptation.
So that you don't enter into temptation. Because a lot of the times that'll be a temptation, man. Right? Something will tempt you to get angry at your own people. For example, right? Yeah, for the brothers, right? Your rib kind of getting you mad, man. Most High testing you now. The Most High put spirit on your rib to get you mad, right? Just to see what you do, right? So what you gonna do, right? You got to kind of walk out, right? Open up the scriptures, read it, calm her down, man, right? All that is a temptation, right? Her coming to you, kind of pushing your buttons, man. That's a temptation. Now for the sisters, right? your husband kind of trying to get you angry, man. What you gonna do? You gonna kind of start throwing pans, plates, glass cups, lamps. You're gonna pick up the whole sofa and just try to launch it at him. That's going the hell off, man. You have to understand, you have to have the understanding, hey, this might be a test. Most High testing my patience and my faith. What am I gonna do? Open up your scriptures and read them things. Pray and fast. Because most of the time, 10 out of 10 times, that's how spirits are gonna get off one another. By you praying and fasting for each other. Right? Read on.
The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
The spirit indeed is willing. Your spirit is willing to do the righteous things, man. But your flesh on a whole different time. Your flesh actually want to go ahead and just break everything in the house. Right? The flesh on the sisters kind of will have her burning all her man's clothes, man. Throwing them outside, burning them up, then trying to kick him out, right? Call the police. That's what the flesh would do. The flesh on a man he'll kind of go back to his old ways, man. He'll probably, try to beat on that woman, man, right? He'll kind of break everything in the house. Now he'll kick her out, man. Tell her, hey, you got to do this thing alone now. Now he's just wicked. And a sister wicked, man. So all these are temptations, man. And we have to know when to see them. That's why H.O.I said, watch and pray. You have to watch. You have to use that discernment. You have to know when certain things are happening, when the Most High is testing you, man. Because in these last days, hey, your spirit's gonna be tested, man. And are you gonna pick the righteous thing to do or the unrighteous? Are you gonna be angry and that furious man? Or are you gonna be patient, humble, right? A peacemaker, right? Keeping the commandments, loving your people. This is a life or death situation, man. This should be taken seriously at all times, right? Let's get Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. And we go read down to 21. And Salaki, before we get that, hey, you could turn on that video, that other video I sent you. I think it was like with my phone. What was his name? It was the first video I sent you. How to always be in control of your anger. Joko Willink or Willink.
What's that?
Thankfully, with Riverside, you can record audio and video.
When I realized that losing your temper was a sign of weakness, as soon as I made that connection, I realized that losing your temper was a sign of weakness. As soon as I made that connection, I said to myself, "This is weak. I'm gonna try not to do it anymore." And what's weird is when you're a kid, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was a kid, and you'd see someone get angry and it made you afraid. And so for a while, I saw it as like a power. You know, it's kind of a way to achieve power, that you can lose your temper and then all of a sudden you have this extra strength. And so when you're a little kid, and when I say a little kid, I mean, when I was 13, 14 years old, I thought, hey, if I could get that rage going and people are scared like I used to feel, that's a positive thing. And then, like I said, as I got older.
You said pause it?
No, keep going up.
Now, now you're talking 16, 15, 16, 17. I realized, hey, this isn't cool. This isn't strength. It's actually weakness. Mm-hmm. And when I realized it was weakness, and I didn't realize that overnight, but I started getting the idea that was weakness. And now, when you see someone that is in control, and even when bad things are happening, they're standing stoically saying, okay, let me take another look at that and I'll get it done. You know what I mean? When they're just, okay, then you realize, okay, this guy is really unflappable, which is a lot more impressive. Yeah. So, again, you got to be able to detach from this. And, I like to take pride in the fact that
close it up real quick.
I'm going to keep my cool no matter what happens. And definitely, once you're in the SEAL teams, you definitely want to be that guy that's keeping your cool no matter what's happening. Yeah. Whether it's
you can pause it up.
The wrong thing, or you just want to be the guy that's, hey, okay, come back over here.
And when he said it's impressive to basically kind of saying it's impressive to keep your cool, he's right on that. Because when somebody gets you mad or tries to get you angry, right, they expect you to go off. They see it as an expectation. Oh yeah, I know he gonna do this, I know he gonna do that, right? But it's impressive when you don't act out in those ways. Right? You can play it out.
Need to redo this. You just want to be that guy. Yeah. That's way more impressive than the guy that says, I can't believe this. Don't be that person. So, and I've talked about this before, what are the pre-event indicators that show you or reveal to you that your temper is about to be lost? What are they? Is it you clench your fists, right? Is it you raise your voice and you start doing that stuff? Do you start to heavy breathing? Do you flare your nostrils, right? Because that's an animal thing where you're going to take in more oxygen, so you open up the nostrils because you're about to get after it. Do you, does your your head, shaking or whatever. Just like these things. What is it? What indicators do you have when you know that you're starting to feel that? And as soon as you feel that, you detach. You go, oh, that's what that is. That's an indicator. And it's a weakness. Mm-hmm. And I don't like weakness. So I'm not going to allow it. And then...
you can pause it out.
Take a breath.
All right. And knowing those indicators, man, if you have a problem with, getting angry, right? You don't know how to control it. Find that indicator, right? He's right on that. Find that indicator, because for me, my indicator, when I got mad, it was when I got angry or furious, it'll be, oh, I'm starting to get hot, right? Or my heart start beating fast. Feel like I'm finna turn into the Hulk, And when I felt that way, now it's time to dim it down, like take control, You can play it out.
Breath. I like to say, you know what? Here's a good one. You want to get through that moment? Nod your head slowly in the affirmative.
All right, pause that.
Right? So when...
Now remember, this is an Edomite, right? So don't listen to that, okay? Because nodding your head, that's not going to work, right? In all sincerity and the truth, read. Yes, read your Bible if you getting like that. Because open up your scriptures will put that spirit back on you where it's a righteous spirit. Not in your head, no. We know how Jake and Eve move, man. Not in your head while somebody, tempting you to get angry, it leaves you time to think about it. So don't listen to this Edomite where he's saying, just nod your head. No, that's not going to work for us. Maybe for him, maybe. But for us, it's not going to work. I will advise you to read your scriptures when you feel that indicator coming up, right? A way of you feeling angry. Kind of get away from the scene, open up your scriptures and read it. Because your Bible has a spirit on it and it's righteous. It's gonna put you back into that mind frame. Hey, I gotta stay righteous. I gotta stay on a righteous path. But by you just nodding your head, no. That's gonna cause you, right, to keep on thinking about what's going on. But with you reading these scriptures, you're gonna be dialed into these scriptures, man. Ain't nothing gonna be able to take you away from the word of the Most High. Right? So don't listen to the Edomite when he say that, man. But he right about the indicators, man. Right? Know when you're getting angry and separate and try to separate from that. Right? You can play it out.
Someone's telling me something that's making in the affirmative. Right? So when someone's telling me something that's making me mad, I'll just slowly nod my head like, I understand. This is the way things are. I accept this. And this is, I'm calculating what my next move is going to be. And then, you see whatever, guys will count to 10. You tell your little kids that. Tell your little kids when they start losing their temper, you need to count to 10. Count to 10. Count to 100. Count to 1,000, whatever it is you got to do. And get control. Because, like I said, if you're losing control, it's not strength, it's weakness.
Zoom is great to interact on a call, but when it comes to doing podcasts, you have to be in Riverside.
Right. So no counting to 10, right? Because as you heard him, he said it's what they told you as a child. Aren't we trying to cast off the childish ways? So ain't no more counting to 10. You grown now. And you reading the scriptures? Oh yeah. You might as well go ahead and get into those scriptures when you get angry. Kind of isolate yourself. Go into your secret spot, man. Open up your scriptures and read it, man. Better yet, pray when you start feeling like that, man. Turn on the fast, start fasting real quick. if it gets down to that, man. Right? Don't take the Edomite way on how to control your anger. Take the way of the scriptures. The scriptures tell you, man. Yahushua said, watch and pray, man. Right? So that's what we got to do. When we feel that way, watch how the situation is going and go and pray, man. After you pray, read your scriptures so that you won't go back into that mode. Right? This is all parts of examining yourself, man, before this Passover. Because I know controlling your anger is a big part, man. Seen too many videos and, man, you know, brothers be getting angry, man, to somebody that don't even got no understanding. Most I close their eyes, you trying to bring it out. No, man. They not gonna listen. They can't see. They can't hear because the Most High close their eyes. They not gonna understand. Right. So let's examine ourselves in these last days, man, and control our anger. Let me get the last scripture, right? Let me get Galatians chapter 5 and start at verse 16.
That's Galatians chapter 5 and verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
That's what we have to do. Continue to walk in the spirit, man. Right? So that you don't fulfill the lust of your flesh, man. So that you don't go back to your old man. Right, read on.
For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh.
And your flesh is against your spirit, and your spirit is against the flesh, man. Which one are you gonna walk after? You got to make your decision today. Are you gonna choose the flesh, where it's corrupt and deceitfulness of your lust, or are you gonna walk in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, keeping the commandments to the best of your ability? All right, read on.
And these are contrary one to another.
And they're against each other, man. Right? They're contrary one to another. Read on.
So that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Right, read on.
But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law.
Right. So if you're led by the spirit, you're not under the law. Right? Now I got a question, right? Just a sidebar, right? If we're led by the spirit, why are we not under the law? But it's on the Zoom to answer. Right? If we are led by the spirit, why are we not under the law? Does anybody have an answer? Just go ahead, try it, man. You might have the correct answer. Going once, going twice. All right, come. Let me get 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. If we're led by the Spirit, why are we not under the law? Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9.
There's 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man.
So if you're walking in the Spirit, you're in righteousness, man. You're keeping to the law, statutes, and commandments. But the law was not made for the righteous man. So that's why we're not under the law if we are led by the Spirit, because the law wasn't made for the righteous. But read on.
But for the lawless,
it was made for the lawless. Read on.
And disobedient.
For the disobedient, those that don't want to listen to the Most High God. Read on.
For the ungodly,
right,
and for the sinners,
right, those that do wickedly. Read on.
For unholy and profane.
For read on.
For murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, and for manslayers.
Right. So it was made for the wicked of Israel. Right. Those that didn't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. The law was the ones that were whoring out their own women, those that were sodomites, those that were murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, right? Those that were disobedient to the voice of the Most High God, the law was made for them. But those that were already keeping the law in spirit, the law wasn't made for them, man, because they was already following the voice of the Most High. They was following the instructions of the Most High already, right? So the law wasn't made for them. It was made for the wicked of Israel, right? So that's why we're not under the law if we're led by the Spirit, which is in righteousness, right? So let's go back to Galatians chapter 5, and let's finish it up. 5 verse 16.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 16.
Start at verse 18.
Verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifested, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies.
So this is what these are the works of the flesh. And you notice how it says hatred, wrath, strife. It's no coincidence. This is touching on the things that we're talking about right now, man. Right? The topic, the lesson is on, right? Hatred, wrath, and strife. That's why it's important to know, right, how to control your anger. Because these are the work of the flesh, right? And there's consequences if you continue to walk in the ways of the flesh. Read on.
Envyings, murderers, drunkenness, revelings.
And that's Slucky. That's the type of things that you'll follow after if you have anger, man. You'll go ahead and get a bottle. You kind of get drunk. You get so damn angry, you got to go out and kill something, right? You do idolatry, man. You go out and go to the damn Muslims, man, and pray to the damn mosque, man. Right? These are the ways, right, of the flesh. And there's consequences for it. Read on.
Such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
And there it is, man, plain upon tables. If you continue to have hatred, wrath, strife, all the works of the flesh, man, you're not getting the kingdom. You're not going to get those handmaids, man, right? You're not going to kind of get that crown of gold, right? You're not going to be able to walk on the gold roads, man. You're not going to get your chariot. You're not going to get the many mansions, man, right? You're not going to have your own land. The only thing you're going to get is the damn lake of fire, man. As Nadeem says, with damn gasoline draws on. You're not going to get the kingdom if you continue to have anger, right? You continue to be furious, man. Have wrath, right? You're not going to get the kingdom. So how do you control your anger, right? You pray, you fast, you open up the scriptures, right? You go back through this lesson. If you end up falling off again, you go back to these scriptures, man, and it'll put you back on track. So that's what we got to do in these last days, Akim and Akwathium, right? We have to know how to control our anger, right? We have to examine ourselves before this Passover come up, man, because this is not a game. Most High not playing with us, man. People come in and out of the truth each and every day, man, like clockwork. This is not a game, and we got to get to it, man. If you truly want the kingdom, you're going to choose today between the spirit and the flesh, man. Life or death. You're going to choose blessings or curses, man. And according to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19, the Most High God told you to choose life, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Having love for your brother, having love for your sister, man. Teaching your children the right from wrongs, man. Training up your child in the way he shall go. Not having hatred towards your brother or your sister. Knowing how to control your anger. All right, so let's get right before this Passover, man. Right? Let's continue to have faith in Yahweh H.O.I, man, and continue to keep these commandments to the best of our ability. Remember to examine ourselves, brothers and sisters, man. Right? Because Lord willing, we make it into the kingdom, right? We drinking the finest yan wine, man, right? Seeing our big brother Yahushua, man, right? We riding around in our chariots, man, right? Brothers and sisters got they spiritual powers, man. You see your child growing up, and it's making you glad that he growing up in nothing but righteousness, right? You see these other nations bowing down to you, them kissing the feet, man. You got these Edomites picking your cotton, man, right? You got these Edomites getting the apples off your apple tree, man. Folding your clothes, making sure the house is clean, right? If you want all these things, if you want rulership over the nations, you have to know how to control your anger. Know where to control it, where to put it at. And it's not towards your own people, right? So I hope there was somebody that was edified through the spirit of this lesson, man, right? And I yield.
All praises. Mighty lesson, King.
All praises, man. All praises to the Most High.
Mighty lessons, King. All praises, King.
Hope y'all ain't go to sleep on me, man.
Wow. All praises to the Most High.
All praises, man. So I'm gonna give everybody 30 seconds, and we're getting ready to close out with the Lord's Prayer. Call me a show.
Hell no, man. Nobody going to sleep on that. Yeah, man. I thought he was gonna go to sleep on that. Hell no.
Right. What's going on?
Huh? Oh, you can hear me? I said, ain't nobody going to sleep on that. That lesson fire, goddamn it. Must have got stuff messed up, buddy. Yeah. How to control your anger. You know, all praise Yahweh H.O.I. Beautiful lesson again. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. You see that? Here we go. Bam. I had a pin right there. Good. See how the screen looking? How to control your anger. You know, just back up beautiful lesson from the brother Danyaahla. You know, praise the mighty reading from Kabar Noir. We got the reader of God, the Zebulonite man, the Dark Knight from Gotham to Chicago. VIB. Good, VIB, man. All praise by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Support Israelite H.O.I business. I'm gonna say that first. I'm sorry. You know, look, man, I love my camp first. I love all Israel. I love my camp first. It is what it is. You know, love my brothers and sisters first. Love the nation too. I'm gonna look out for H.O.I first. I'm sorry.
You gonna have questions raised, Doc. People gonna ask questions on that one, Doc.
Right. They were like, what the hell?
Right.
Brother, I thought you was for everybody. I am, but you know, you gotta make sure you take care of home first.
God.
You know, it's a blessing, man. Shout out to all the camps, man. Beautiful time, Passover. In order to have unity, you first got to know who you are and love yourself first. Always remember that. In order to have unity with everybody else, you got to make sure you build yourself first. Know who you are, love who you are. Not to be envious, not to be spiteful, not to try to be able to compete with everybody else. You got to be strong in who you are first. And then you can bring what you got to the table with everybody else. Khan? Yeah, man. All praise, man. Beautiful lesson. Don't get caught slipping like what happened to Abner against Joab, man. There's going to be a lot of Joabs in these last days, raging and, thinking with their own mind and, bloodthirsty. You got to control that anger. So for the brother, let me get this real quick. Where is this? Where's the best-selling author in Israel at right now? Where you at? Newsman himself. Break down the minuscule of the earthquakes to the decimal, to the multitude and the longitude, latitude. Yeah, all praises, man. Hopefully I was edified by the class. We will be back again this Thursday. Just share the screen real quick. This guy right here. Be back again this Thursday with Brother Gabar Noir. Here we go. Now you control your anger, man. Definitely get this book when y'all get a chance. From the man himself, Elder Casadia, H.O.I. Philly. The Art of Anger. It went to best-selling #1 in less than a couple of days.
Wait, that's our book?
Yeah, what you thought?
Yeah, I didn't know that was his book.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah, he just finished it. And became #1 seller. Yeah, Casadia with the fire.
Goddamn Oracle of Philly.
The Oracle of Philly. The background with the pictures and the media shower happening. That might hit Chicago first, the way these movies be looking like. But Hashem Mashiach, I was shy. Beautiful lesson again. Danyaahla.
The water.
Tuesday, iron sharpens iron. All praise Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, get ready. The next feast will be the new moon, March 20th. It'll be the new moon. It'll be a new moon and also a new year. That's our Hebrew New Year, March 20th. And that will be on Monday sundown.
Day of the Lord, bless not be on the earth.
Oh, wow. On the 20th?
Yeah, day he brought me into existence.
Yo, that's crazy. How your birthday's on? Yeah, that's a blessing, And then mine's on the Passover. Shema Shekel Shai. So March 20th will be the new moon, new year. And D said that was the day he was born. It's crazy. Everything lining up. No, let's definitely enjoy it. And also get ready for the Passover. Any brothers and sisters that have not sent in their Passover money to the elder, I think is for 3 of a family is 100, and I think for 4 is 200. I'm trying to remember. I think for 3 is 100, and for 4 is 200. Oh, matter of fact, let me share it on the screen real quick. Yeah, support Elder Casadia, the Art of Anger. Let's support each other, Israel. H.O.I. Let's definitely support each other. Let's definitely support each other. Flyer.
Con.
Yeah, let's definitely support each other, brothers and sisters. Yeah, we got that. We got that potential. We just got to have it focused. All got to be directed and focused. And then we got an upcoming Tubi TV. I have our own channel. You got to worry about these devils or these how do you say it? The wicked, like in that movie Maze Runner. You ain't got to worry about them taking down our videos and everything. So let me just show this one real quick. Now this picture. Looking for the Passover events. Oh, I had it. It's coming on down. All right, here we go. Boom, this is the one. So if y'all see the screen, quick reminder for the Passover, and also reminder, next Monday, March 20th will be the new moon, sundown. New moon will be sundown, March 20th. For the Passover, the event, Friday, March 31st, will be camp from 6 p.m. to 12 a.m., 34th Street and Broadway. That's the location. Saturday will be Sabbath class, April 1st. We will not be fooled. So it'll be April 1st, Sabbath class from 2 to 4 p.m. The location will be announced by the elders of Bach. Let me see. Sunday will be pre-Passover 11 feast. That'll be at the same location as the Sabbath class. Right? That'll be the last second gathering of feasts. Chicken, whatever here and there, all different things. So of sorts. Oh yeah, Slack Saturday also will be camp from 5 to 12 a.m. 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. at Times Square. That'll be Saturday, April 1st. Sunday will be the feast. That'll be the 11th feast. That'll be the day before the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So last second. Yeah, ain't no April Fools. We ain't getting fooled this time. All right? Fool me once, shame on me. Monday will be the official Passover. Start 8 p.m. H.O.I. Passover 2023, Grand Slam Ballroom, location 3534 Broadway, between 144th and 145th. Harlem, New York, 10031, second floor, Aquamarine Ballroom. The color scheme for the Passover will be navy blue and silver and white. Navy blue, silver, and white. Tuesday will be Iron Sharpens Iron. Locations to be disclosed. And also Tuesday is also for traveling day for those that's heading back to their respective cities. And I think the elder said he's going to try to close off the Passover, closing day of the Passover in New York. Same thing, Iron Sharpens Iron, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Midwest time. Western time, I don't know what time it is. Probably like 5 something. But yeah, this is the picture right here. You can check it out on my Facebook. The itinerary, I'll repost it again. Y'all can be up to date and on point with the schedule. And for your brothers and sisters, definitely get yourself ready for the Passover. Preparation is key. The elder had the Cash App. Yeah, where he put it on. Let's see. Let's see where he put the Cash App on. There we go. This is the Cash App right here. Wait, is it that one? Yeah, the Cash App is Shakal7777. That's for the donations for the Passover. I think for 3 of a family is 100, 4 is 200. All right. So definitely sending your money in. It's very important. We got to get these stuff done for the Passover, the food, the drinks, the location, and other stuff we're trying to get done as well. So preparation is key. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, I'll see you at the Passover in New York. Most High will. While in the meantime, let's get our spirit right throughout the month. Get your fasting going, examine yourself, let go of the bitterness, the malice, the envy, the hatred, the grudges, let all of that go, man. It's not worth it. You want to be ready and prepared so that when you're able to eat that lamb, you won't be set up for destruction and damnation. And keep in mind, the death angels is here. And they're going to be running rampant even more, especially these past 2 months that's coming up. So you don't want to get caught slipping. You don't want to get sifted out. Examine yourself, man. So we can endure for the next year and on until we can endure for the kingdom of heaven. Khan? Yeah. So all praises, man. So we're going to close out the class. Yeah, Danyaahla, you can do the honors, all right.
Khan, man. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Paleo Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahawu, Latuka, Taba'a, Badizarka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kowa, Haya, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Waham, Kol, Yawam, Wazalat Nawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kazalat Nawa, Kabawati Nawa, Bala'a, Tabi Yanawa, Bayasayan, Abol, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Maka, Hamalakwat, Wa Allah, Wa Taparaf, Lai Walamium, Amen. I pray Yah Bashim Yahushai that you keep us diligent and zealous for your word each and every day, obedient in your law, statutes, and commandments, and that you continue to increase us in these last days in the spirit that we may inherit the kingdom. Bashim Mashak Yahushai. Amen.
Amen.
Come.
It's my shot, man. Most High will be back again this Thursday night class. Let's endure, family. Let's continue to stay pushing, keep consistency going, diligence, and stay humble, man. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. With that, signing out. Kwame Show.
Kwame Show.
Beautiful class again, man.
Beautiful.